I'm okay. I just smoked another to the face, yeah. She wanna stay. Singing to your bitch like I was Drake, yeah.
Don't just try to tell me you love me. Can't keep it real if you really don't trust me. Come with the real, you hip in the front, so you get my meals. I'm gunning for the money in the bank. Come on with a dank, scrolling a tank, rolling with the gang. You sitting out on the sideline tripping, I go to the hole with the rock like Pippin.
Yeah. I'm okay.
What up, though? Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights Live, Woodsports.com.
Welcome you.
I'm Eazy. I'm joined by Spin More Rax.
Hello.
Young Chris, Nicholas Kohloff, a.k.a. Detroit Mario.
Let's go.
I think, are we letting the Rook talk today?
Yeah,
he's sitting there.
Talk, for sure.
We have the Korean Jesus join us in the Maz chair. Shout out. This is Justin, our new intern. He's been killing it ever since, so he's been getting some mic time lately. Spinny woke up late on Saturday.
Yeah, I did.
So he got to sit on the desk. You know how many, MFs are probably jealous of him that worked here and has never had that opportunity? It's congrats, it's from you.
Hey, don't say I never did anything for you, kid. Oh, yeah, I was fucked up that night. I was drinking from 2 a.m. to 2 p.m. to 5 a.m. Yeah.
That'll do it, donkey.
It was tough. So, yeah, I slept in a little bit, woke up, saw 2 missed calls from Stick, a missed call from you, a bunch of texts. I was like, oh, shit. So it was 1 o'clock. I was like, oh, I was supposed to be there at noon. But we still did 5 hours.
Yeah. I'm low-key kind of glad I worked that day. How was it, actually, your first time up there?
It was absolutely amazing. I had the best time. Shout out Broder, shout out Anson, shout out Spence. We had a great time just chatting it up about the draft. Went on a couple fun tangents about bagels and stuff like that. But it was just an all-around great time.
See, we were talking about bagels with lox, and they knew what it was. I remember I brought up bagels with lox on this show. And you guys made me feel like a cousin or something because you never heard about it.
Lox is fire.
Pretty cousiny. And gross, by the way.
Delicious, bro.
Is that a breakfast meal for the English?
Any kind of meal.
Just fish in the morning like that? That's wild.
Yeah.
It's an anytime. It's an anytime type of meal.
Elite.
Capers, onions,
we're
some
done.
tomatoes, some salmon. Oh, dude, it fucking hits, bro.
Fish in the morning is wild.
I can eat fish anytime.
I could have the...
Tell your girl about me.
I won't say that. That's gross. It shouldn't smell like fish, Spinny.
Yeah, man. pH up, pH down. We diving in. We having a good time.
Oh, my Lord. All right, moving on.
Starting out strong.
Starting off strong, boys. Real quick, shout out to the Detroit fans. All right, we officially broke. You guys probably heard this 3 times over today. I don't care. I want to give you. We've been giving you guys shouts actually before the draft. I had a hunch it was going to happen, but we broke the official NFL draft attendance record 3 times over. 3 times in terms of we beat them each day. Each day. The first day we set the record at 275. Set it again day 2. I don't know how many people showed up for day 3. However, it equated to what, 775,000?
Yeah, we got shirts for it.
Yeah, we got shirts, so you can go get your shirts now. 775,000 people in the draft. So that doesn't even count the people out there at the parties. There was probably 500,000 people downtown every day, each day. But 775,000 in the draft. It's awesome. Detroit, see, I got a little scab going here because I had to scrape that tattoo off of my face. Yeah, Detroit, you guys showed out. It was awesome. It was a lot of fun. Did really well for the city in the national media's eye. Everybody's talking about how it was we actually got a video of the fans from different cities and states talking about it.
Yeah.
Did you grab that one?
Yeah, you want to play it now?
Yeah, play that now. This is people from out of Michigan that came for the draft and what they had to say.
You guys are from where? England. When we got here on Monday, it's been amazing. People have been so friendly.
I came here 2 years ago for Thanksgiving as well, and it's consistent. It's not just today. Detroit is a fantastic place with great people. Yeah.
It's the experience of a lifetime. Everybody's been so nice in Detroit.
Seems like a little kid in a candy store.
We put out the good silverware today.
Yeah, it's been a lot better than what we thought. Yeah.
How's it feel to have the draft in Detroit finally?
It feels great. It's amazing. Get out of here. Better to win, baby.
We were in Kansas City last year, and you guys have knocked it out of the park. Because Kansas City was good. This is way better. To see everybody, and it's just wonderful how open it is.
Shout out to Detroit, man. We put on. Shout out to the state. Because I said that on Friday, or I believe it was Saturday maybe. No, it was Friday when we did round 2. And I was like, we know everybody from the state represents Detroit, though. Although obviously not everybody's like there locally in Detroit. Like our guy Nick, shout out Detroit Mario. But
Shout
like
out.
even before you were there, everybody rep Detroit. Everybody, you know, when you're at your high school football games, they're singing their Journey, and you know everybody paused the song. Born and raised in South Detroit, even though South Detroit's not a place, we all know that. But everybody represents Detroit, man, and I'm glad that Detroit put on for itself. There's no crazy incidents. However, actually, I do gotta find that one video where they broke down the barrier, and they were just
yeah.
Did you see that?
I did see that.
That was. I don't know if I'm allowed to say it, but that's kind of awesome. I'm not gonna lie.
They like pushed it and like started pushing it forward.
First the security guy
the guy was like,
literally.
what's he gonna do?
When there's that many people, man, like what can, I always wonder that too. Even when I saw like an aerial shot of the draft, there was like, I don't know, maybe like 14 security guards, and that's going the high end of things. I'm like, yeah, there's no way. If they wanted to storm that stage. The pictures were insane, bro. It looked like ants. It really looked like a colony of ants. But we put on, man. Shout out. And it wasn't even like super warm out either. It was kind of chilly. And people were still out there riding. Chris, I remember you were saying like it's crazy how people are from everywhere, and there are, but like that was mostly Detroiters. There's seas of blue out there.
Oh yeah, it was definitely mostly Detroit, and that was the coolest part. But again, what you guys said earlier is to me the most important part, that Detroit has had a reputation for decades now that hasn't been the greatest, and this was absolutely showcased to the entire world what Detroit really is, what Detroit really can be. And you saw it. The mayor even talked to Adam Silver and reached out to about All-Star Weekend. Like, the narrative around Detroit is changing. Other businesses, other leagues, everything is going to be looking at Detroit in a more positive light. People in general looking at Detroit in a more positive light. And I think it's just beautiful to see a city accurately represented that way.
Now I was working today, otherwise I would have did the homework to find the video of the Terrion Arnold pick was announced.
Mm-hmm.
You saw like the crowd just go crazy.
I got it. It should be in downloads already and stuff.
I'll find it.
Yeah, if you want to play that at some point.
Use it for the morning, or we use it for BDE.
Yeah, that was amazing. I do want to get to one thing though, because I know mostly we'll be talking draft.
If not, it's in my. If you don't want to look through it,
yeah, I was gonna Slack it.
It's in the Slack, my DMs.
Okay.
I know we'll be talking mostly draft today, unless you guys want to make this its own topic. But obviously the Suns got swept last night.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
kind of insane. I've been a big KD guy.
Anthony Edwards is him.
He really is.
I said he was a top 10 player at the beginning of the season, and people called him crazy. I can't be a full Timberwolves bandwagon because they have 3 of my 4 most hated NBA players on their team.
Plus just 2 now.
They don't have Ben no more.
Karl Anthony Towns, Rudy Gobert, and Kyle Anderson.
Oh, you hate Kyle Anderson?
Yeah, dude.
What a Kyle Anderson.
He's a new introductory to the list.
No, he's been there for a little while. I didn't know he was on your list. So annoying, dude. I just hate how he plays like nothing about him. He seems like an all right dude, pretty cool guy, but I hate how he plays basketball. Like, it's so fucking annoying.
A little fundamental. If you guys are listening through audio, so he just did the
5 stars.
20-second Euro step that he does. Yeah. It's like he's like Paul Pierce, but worse.
Yikes.
No, we're definitely way worse than Paul Pierce.
Yeah, that's what I said. Paul Pierce, but worse. Because Paul Pierce played kind of.
I feel bad you even comparing it to
Paul Pierce played kind of slow like that.
He did play slow.
Not as slow as Kyle Anderson. That shit is so annoying.
It's trippy as fuck watching him play. And knowing that the guys out there like supreme all-world athletes is like, how are you not stopping this right now?
I'm happy they at least got rid of Pat Bev because I couldn't even have liked Anthony Edwards if he played on a team with all 4 of them.
What do I say?
Just by association.
That's
like hate by association.
The infinity stones of basketball players that Spencer.
Yeah, but they were all on the roster at the same time too. I was like, dude, there's no way.
No, you guys are missing the most important point about this Minnesota series. It's not that Ant has arrived and Ant was cool. He was doing the DX suck it. He was talking shit press conferences. All that was cool. But Devin Booker got swept. This is what I've been calling for months. If you are a Pistons fan, you root for the most disastrous, worst, terrible Phoenix Suns season ever. And the trade rumors have already started. Stephen A's using his platform to promote his propaganda of, I hear he wants to be a Knick. You just want him in your team. You just want him on your team. So let's do the same thing here. Devin Booker, come home to Detroit. Someone threw a trade out here. And I think, honestly, it takes more than this. So quickly, would you do this for Devin Booker?
I would do that in a heartbeat.
He didn't even read it, but yeah.
I saw you posted.
Read out loud. We have an audio.
Stewart, Ivy, Quentin Grimes, Sasser, and 2 firsts.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm doing that in a heartbeat.
I think even if you have to add Duran, I still do it. Not going to lie.
That's the part I don't like. I've seen people like already throwing Ivy and Duran in. Can we keep Duren? Especially if we get booked.
I'm trying to keep Duren at all.
Yeah,
at all costs.
I mean, you try to keep, but if that's the deal making or breaking it, I'm sorry, I have to do Duren. Like I
gotta get something else back then. Fuck.
I mean, yeah, you could get, I don't know, Nurkic's old expiring.
So you want to trade all those assets for Devin Booker, but don't want to sign Donovan Mitchell.
JB.
Listen, you talked me into it, Spencer. You're right. There's no point. Go for it because you got absolutely nothing going for you as an organization.
My guy Sammy at work kind of had the same argument that you had, Chris. Like, why would he want to be here? But the difference is, Devin wants to be here.
Yeah, and that's
showing up
to
to Game 4 last night in the Steve Yzerman jersey.
Yeah, shout out JB.
Every time he's put on for Detroit every single time, every single sport. I love it. That's the main difference there between the Donovan Mitchell one and Devin. Devin actually wants to be here. And man,
he's the only person in Detroit that would like Monty Williams. So
because here's the thing too. This is why I think you don't have to add Duren is the fact that the Suns don't have a first round pick for 6 years.
Yeah.
6 years in a row without a first round pick.
I get it, but I don't think Ivy is the star of the package like we would like to think, especially one that's bringing back a perennial All NBA player in Devin Booker.
You're getting more than just Ivy. You're getting what's going to be a top 3, top 5 pick this year.
Well, that one wasn't
Ivy,
in
who
it,
still
so
has
I would
some plus
change
side.
that. But
you didn't have that in there?
That one was next year's first and 2027.
Okay.
So I would put this year's first in Ivy and whatever, and try to keep Duren out of it. But ultimately, if it has to
Stop
be, if
saying
it's
Duren has to be
between,
part of this, you're pissing me off.
But if it's between not getting them and getting them, I'm sorry, I'm taking them. Also, Devin Booker's under contract for a couple of years, so it's not quite like Donovan.
Can't we just send him a Sar instead? Keep Duren.
I'd rather have a Sar.
That makes one of us.
I think that's a hot take.
Nick hates a Sar.
Yeah,
Nick hates a Sar.
No, I'm just messing around
Would
with
you
that
rather have
one,
a Sar than Duren though? Is that real?
I would.
rather
I
have
thought we
Duren.
all agreed on that. I thought there was nobody that was really. We all like Duren. That's nothing against Duren. I just think
it's pretty close.
I think with Duren specifically when you're bringing in Book, I don't know.
Yeah,
man.
but
Sar
you get
has
a
boards, too.
Sar and Caden Booker don't have to guard the best player. That's a huge asset.
But having Duren for those boards when you have a 3-point, what's going to end up being.
But
a
a
3-point
Sar was
shooting team.
already at the beginning of the season. He was rebounding just as good as every center in the league. Blocking, he had better rim protection numbers than Jalen Duren.
I don't think it's easy. I think it's easier to find a Jalen Duren than it is an Asar Thompson.
Exactly.
Personally,
that's my point.
But yeah, easy wings win you rings. But
that too, that's a factual.
I also think that if Asar doesn't get right, he'll be out of the league before Jalen Duren. Because we've seen guys like Asar Thompson fall off the face of the earth in the NBA. And if you can't shoot at all, it doesn't matter how good you are in defense and how good athletic you are, you won't be in the NBA.
Plus, another point of that is that Jalen Duren is younger than Asar Thompson. So when we talk about development, Duren is just scratching the surface. Asar hasn't been able to shoot in his whole career.
His whole career, he's a rookie.
He's coming out of overtime.
He's like 8 months older than Jalen Duren. That's not
the shot was in question
factor.
coming out of overtime, and in his first season, he was still not able to shoot the three.
Okay, but
it is
I'm just
pretty
saying
bad.
Duren's ceiling isn't in 8 months like Asar's is allegedly.
One time, Chris called me, and we were literally trying to find a comp for Asar.
Andre Robertson.
When it comes to developing a 3-point shot, was that as bad?
Oh, developing a 3-point shot.
Yeah, one that started out as
Jimmy Butler?
horrendously as bad as his. I think that was the one.
That was the one. That was the one where it was pretty.
We tried so
Kawhi
hard
Leonard?
to find more.
Kawhi's was better. We looked
Kawhi was
at
better
Kawhi
too.
Yeah.
Asar's like 17%, bro.
Yeah, he shot. He shot 18% from 3 this year.
Yeah,
that's tough, dude.
Yeah.
You cannot do that and have a job in the NBA. Like if you got to hit open shots at the very least. You have to hit open shots. So if he can't do that, he won't be in the NBA for very long.
Yeah, one argument where you actually, and I'm pretty stubborn. I'm pretty sure we all know that by now. But I'll admit when I'm wrong if I'm convinced of it. When you mention there's no Durens winning championships, championship teams don't typically have a Duren on there. I'm like, well, that's fair.
Or they do, but that's not one of your 3 guys. Look at the centers that are leading teams to championships right now. It's the Jokic, the Embiids, like those type of are the
what team is Embiid leading to?
Jokic.
I'm not, but I'm saying like the best player on a championship team in theory. Obviously, we know Philly is not. But Bam
Adebayo, he's the second best player on the Heat, and they got to the finals twice.
Yeah. But different style player too, though.
I mean, a little bit.
Yeah, different than Duren for sure. I mean, he dribbles.
Duren was bringing the ball off the court a lot last year.
That fit though.
I mean, on a 14-win team, but
Yeah, I mean, he's a second-year player.
That fit though,
Who's
Chris.
reached his ceiling apparently. But no, hey man, all I'm saying is Kawhi wings win you rings, right? Easy. Talk that.
They do.
Talk.
They got a wing in PG.
A wing.
You can't both.
So you just need a wing. So it's wing wins you rings.
Wings win you rings, but you gotta have to be able to stack them in that situation because the two of them clearly aren't working.
So it's a fit thing.
Yeah, stack them. Don't put them out there at the same time. But wings do win you rings. It's not. You guys have agreed to that statement, by the way. I don't know why we're going against it. And Luka and Ivy, Luka and Kyrie, that's that thing guys make it too. As great as they are individually, doesn't always work all the time.
I mean, Luka's hasn't been so great this series.
They lost because Luka is shooting 25% from three. Like that's why they lost 2 games in this series. It's not because of the fit. No, Kyrie and Luka played very well.
Now it's insane.
I mean, the fit isn't the reason he's shooting 25%. I would agree with that.
All right.
And I'm saying the 25%.
If you put him on any team and he's shooting 25%, it's going to be bad.
All right.
Is that not true? So the reason he's shooting 25% is because Kyrie Irving's on the court?
It's not a fit. I tell you what, it worked out a little bit better yesterday, though, because Luka did get hurt and had to defer to Kyrie and just let him eat. If they did it that way, if they just, like...
Took time, like, one quarter you go, then one quarter I'll go?
Yes. It could work if they did it that way.
But they do that. They do that a little bit. They do that a little bit, and they do a lot of... The differences between them and other ball-dominant players is Kyrie will screen for Luka. Like, they'll do 2-man actions involving them.
Kyrie was going crazy.
Kyrie was awesome, man.
I saw a tweet.
Incredible. I love NBA playoffs, man.
I saw a tweet. It was like, if Kyrie did this in the 1960s, he'd be burned for wizardry or witchcraft or whatever.
Dude, he is the greatest finisher at the rim in the history of the NBA. He has the best handles in the history of the NBA. Like, the dude's an absolute monster. He's got the most elite layup package ever.
Nick?
Shout out the draft being in Detroit this weekend, but one thing that will not be played tonight is the Tiger game. It has been postponed. Doubleheader tomorrow starting at 3:40 p.m. So no takes tonight.
It's supposed to thunderstorm.
Oh,
yeah.
Lightning and the thunder.
Okay. All right. Update the people.
Planet Fitness.
Let me tell you guys about Planet Fitness. We're coming back. We're talking all draft.
Let's go.
Let me tell you about Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone where anyone can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, a full body workout in 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all this for just $10 a month, no commitment. No matter where you're at, there's a Planet Fitness close by. More than 50 in Metro Detroit and thousands more throughout the world. Planet Fitness, where fitness is essential.
Feel alive during Feldman Chevrolet's biggest New Year's sales event ever. Get the best prices on our huge selection of award-winning Chevrolets. Like this 2024 Equinox for $188 per month. Or this 2024 Silverado for $268 per month. It's the New Year's sales event going on now at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
What's good, man? How you doing? What you got for me today? Let's have a look, man. I see the one I want right there. That's the one I'm looking for.
Welcome to the winner's circle, Blake. Hey. Figer Law. All we do is win. All we do is win.
Head on over to woodwardsports.com. Click the shop tab today. Get yourself some brand new merch. Hoodies, tees, hats constantly being updated. You've seen it in the first segment. We have the world record setting t-shirt, 775,000. Go cop that along with a bunch of other great gear at woodwardsports.com. Click the shop tab. Get yourself some brand new what?
Merch.
It's live on sports.com. I'm Eazy, joined by my guy Spimo Rex.
What up, though?
Young Chris, Nicholas Kohloff, aka Detroit Mario. We also got Korean Jesus in the building, joining us here and there. He's
Korean
new
Jesus
intern for
doesn't have time
Sports.
for your problems. Too busy dealing with Korean shit.
Exactly. Obviously, we went live briefly at the 3-on-3 party. Still kind of turned up, still kind of hungover.
and spoke about the first round pick.
Being drunk and hungover at the same time is wild. And high.
Wild. It felt like I felt like a zombie.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Spenny, I heard you got a massage down there. How was
it? It was great. Great massage. You want to see the position they have you in?
No.
No, it's great massage.
In this chair, yeah. Let's see you pull that one off.
No, I'm not going to do it in this chair. But shout out to Jars Cannabis, Lost Farms, Gold Coast, Hyman, all those Chill Medicated. They put on a great. I did dabs. That's the first time I've dabbed in like 5-6 years.
Wild boy for that.
I was cooked.
Yeah, I can't handle them. However,
I thought I was gonna have a heart attack halfway through.
The Hyman Eclairs, that's my shit.
I did like 3 dabs. I smoked like 4 of those Hyman Eclairs, dude. I was cooked. It's awesome. And the bartender was fine. She was giving me lemonades all day.
She was gorgeous.
She was. Whew.
I told you.
She was gorgeous.
I got her Instagram.
Good for you.
Follow me back.
Snapchat would have been more flexible.
Instagram DMs.
Let him cook.
I guess. All right. Well, I want to start with the back half of the draft with this one because we kind of talked about the first round Friday, and we'll work our way there too. But I guess initial reactions to Mahogany and Wingo getting drafted, Smitty.
I love it. I think these are 2 guys that fell very far down the draft, and it's an important factor of what Brad Holmes did throughout the draft. Like, I saw a lot of people mad about Brad Holmes trading his 3rd-round pick. It's like, oh, you traded up? You traded a 3rd-round pick for this? Oh, you traded next year's 3rd-round pick to move into the 4th round to get a guy? Brad Holmes sees 3rd-round picks as nothing but trade chips, as nothing but the spice on the pot of a trade, because he has so much confidence in his 5th, 6th, 7th round talent evaluation that he thinks the guys he gets in the 5th, 6th, 7th round will be just as good as guys other teams get in the 3rd or 4th rounds, and it's been proven to be correct. And I think guys like Mekhi Wingo is a perfect guy to spell Ali McNeil if he needs a breather. Like, when Ali McNeil needs a breather during the season, you bring in Mekhi Wingo. He's another versatile defensive lineman who can do a lot of different things. And Brad Holmes even had some words about Mekhi Wingo and what he brings to the team. We got a video of Brad Holmes talking what Mekhi Wingo means for the Lions.
A lot of these guys, where we're at as a roster, man, if they win a spot and play, then they play. If they don't, they don't. Like, I don't, you look at the corners, like, yeah, we really like these corners. They're rookies. I don't know, they got to win a spot, but because Carlton Davis has been a proven starter.
Wrong video. Way to go, Chris.
I got the right one.
You got the right one? You want to play the right one?
All right. So him talking about Mekhi Wingo.
I would say you're right on the football character aspect. I mean, this guy fits our culture like a glove. Great kid. Look, it's hard to don that number 18 at LSU. That just means something. But I think his character speaks for itself. He plays. His football character shows on film too, the way that he plays. But the role, and it's a good question because that's kind of what I had to get to. Was I originally was looking at him as purely just a defensive tackle that was just going to be playing inside, and I was kind of, I was like, man, I'm not sure. But when I kept watching him, his rush ability really started to come to light, and I kind of put him in a different kind of box, a little bit like what we talked about Pascal when Pascal came out. These guys are just like, okay, can he play on the edge on 1st and 2nd down, and can he do some inside rush? Wingo, he's got a lot of good stuff on tape as an edge rusher, actually, surprisingly. But his sub rush is pretty impressive. Not saying that he can't play base downs inside, because he can do that as well. But when you put him in that specialized category or that position, whether it's more of a big end or more of kind of an elephant that can do some interchangeable things, that's kind of where he's saying. And when we saw him in that light, that's kind of when he became more attractive to us.
You heard it from the horse's mouth. Like, this guy is saying what he wants, what he likes about players, and what he finds them for a reason. Like we know he likes the football guy aspect and the culture fit and stuff like that, and we know the versatility is there, and he saw both of those in Mekhi Wingo. He sees him as a guy who can rush the passer. He sees him as a guy who can play inside, play outside. He'll be a lot for this defense going forward. I expect him to have a pretty good role in the rotation his rookie year. I really like the pick. And then Christian Mahogany, man, the guy was all conference. Like, he's a big mauler, lets up no sacks in 400-plus blocking snaps last year.
Real quick before, I don't want to get too far away from Mekhi Wingo. I love this pick.
Yeah.
This kid.
One of the best picks of the draft.
His explosiveness is measured in 10-yard split. You guys pay attention to the combine and stuff like that. I believe at a 1.64 is what he ran. That's the 96th percentile of all defensive tackles in the combine in Everton. I mean, we're talking about names like Kalijah Cansey, Aaron Donald. He's that smaller type of defensive tackle that is purely kind of made for pass rush, as Brad Holmes said. Nick's a big numbers guy, but I like to explain to everybody when it comes to that, like, okay, you may only see those 4.5 sacks. That's pretty freaking good for a defensive tackle.
Yeah.
On top of the fact that there was a trio of defensive tackles on this LSU team where he didn't necessarily start every single game. I think he only had average 19 pass rushing snaps per game, which is limited action for him to get those 4.5 sacks on top of it. I think he was top 5 in the Power 5 and just pressures in general. If you watch the game, if you ever watch his highlights even, this kid is the first one off the ball. His strength is there. He extends the arms because he is kind of short. He's 6'1", 280 or something like that. Mm-hmm. But that's what Cansey is. You saw him be productive last year.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say I'm not comparing him to this guy, but that's what Aaron Donald was.
Yep.
You saw what he did in the league, and the league's kind of just transforming towards that anyway. On top of the fact that if Broderick Martin continues to develop, on top of also just having DJ Reader, those are the perfect pairings you want next to him. If you guys remember last year, if you watched the show, we were talking about people who wanted Kalijah Cansey as early as they did. I didn't like the fit because we just didn't have the big body next to him.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's what you need for that to work. We got that.
Yes. We got a couple of them.
Yes. We got DJ Reader and Broderick Martin.
Yes.
On top of that, too, you know what else we went and grabbed? We grabbed Terrell Williams, a guy who Dan Campbell called the best defensive line coach in the league. I have, first and foremost, just watched the tape. I have no clue how he fell this far. Secondly, the combination of Terrell Williams, DJ Reader, and this kid's ability, I'm telling you guys, is gonna be nasty.
And now we know they already signed Benny Sewell. We know they already signed Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'm not saying this is I would love to see them re-sign, but Ali McNeil, he's got a contract coming up soon.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe this could be somewhere where you if you cap casualty Ali McNeil, you got a guy there. I hope it doesn't happen. I love Ali McNeil. I hope he stays, and I hope they re-sign him. But you got to cover all your bases. And I talked about it on X how they can rotate these guys in now. So if Broderick Martin or if DJ Reader needs a break, you've got DJ Reader archetype in Broderick Martin to bring in his stead. If Ali McNeil needs a break, you've got Ali McNeil archetype in Mekhi Wingo to bring in his stead. It's awesome. The depth we have at this position, it's not the most deep position on the team because it's probably cornerback now, honestly. I would say cornerback has the most depth on this team right now. But it's awesome to see what they did. Grabbing this guy in the 6th round is a steal. And Brad Holmes moved up to get this guy, and then 4 of the next 5 picks after him were defensive tackles. Go look. It's crazy. Brad Holmes moved up, grabbed him, and the next 5 picks, 4 of them were defensive tackles, and 2 of those picks came from division rivals in Green Bay and Minnesota. So I love it.
The kid's a monster. I don't doubt that he's going to be productive in this league, especially for the Detroit Lions. And you brought up a great point, too, on the Lee McNeil stuff. Brad kind of hinted towards that to begin with, heading into this next, series of the draft was now we're kind of looking also at expiring contracts. We obviously are high on Lee McNeil. I've talked about getting his jersey. Actually, on Friday, when we talked about who we want in the 2nd round, that's who we wanted. A guy that kind of if you're not going to re-sign Lee McNeil, at least grab somebody who fits that character or that mold, I guess, for on the defensive line. You grab that in the 6th round. Phenomenal pick. We do have to go to break, but Nick, did you want to squeeze anything in?
Yeah, just wanted to say I'm thrilled with it. And you talked about his sack production, 4.5. That's only in 8 games.
Yep.
So you think about that from a defensive lineman. I love it. And the fact that Brad was able to get this guy in the 6th round, he loves going D-line and offensive line, and we finally built that up. And for the fact that he got this in the 6th round, I think is great value. And when we get back, I want to know possibly why that this guy fell to the 6th. I want to get your guys' thoughts on that.
Well, about Figer Law, because after an accident, People need to hire a lawyer more than any other time, so make Figer your first call. 1-800-A-WINNER. That's 1-800-A-WINNER. Their team of trial lawyers will get you the money you deserve. Figer Law. All we do is win.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. With 18 locations, there's a Feldman dealership in your backyard. Visit feldmanauto.com to find the location nearest you. Catch Woodward Sports Network live from Feldman Chevrolet of Novi every other Monday. Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer.
What up, though? Welcome to World Heavyweights Live, WorldSports.com. I'm Eazy, joined by Spin Rex.
What up, though?
Young Chris, Nicholas Kohloff, a.k.a. Detroit Mario. We got Korean Jesus in the building. Make sure you guys smash that like button, be a friend, tell a friend, and share the stream. Before we went to break, Nick asked a really good question, actually. He was like, well, if he's this good, how the hell did he fall?
I mean, we see it every draft, but yeah, that's my question with this guy is why did he fall? You know, coming out of LSU, putting up production when it comes to interior D linemen. Do you guys just have any first thoughts on it?
As the injury, I think that he dealt with, this year, I think that was a big factor of it, on top of his size, being a little bit undersized as an interior defensive lineman, and the run on offense in this draft. You know, this is a huge offensive draft, and a lot of those guys fell off the board, so better defenders fell lower than most people thought they would.
So I gotta be honest with you guys, I didn't really peep him out too much until today on my lunch break. Injuries, yeah, that makes sense. The size and the run, sticks is like he shouldn't have fell there.
Yeah, definitely shouldn't have fell.
It's kind of crazy. I'm banking on probably the injuries because one, he's a team captain. He had the second fastest 40 out of the defensive tackle class. On top of that, again, that 10-yard split. It's in the 96th percentile of defensive tackles in ever to participate in the combine. I think when I was watching the film, his big thing is burst.
Yeah.
Like when he's off that line, he's the first one off there. Whether it's interior, as you said, he can bounce out in the exterior as well. He just doesn't. If he ever gets caught up by a guy that's like strong enough to like absorb that initial blow, he's not able to get the extension on him. I feel like there's not many more pass rush moves after that. It's more like just the explosion. But again, that's why I tailor it to or tie it to Terrell Williams.
Yeah,
his development of guys
like that.
Exactly. That's where I'm at with it, is like he's going to be productive regardless, no matter what, especially on this defensive line with these guys that we expect to produce in terms of Aiden Hutchinson, DJ Reader, James Houston, or maybe even Davenport you want to throw in there too. He's going to get his. It's going to be sparingly, but I think he's going to slow roll, possibly into something special. And I could be going off the deep end with that one, but that's how I felt watching the tape. And this is at LSU. This is SEC country.
Yeah, it's not playing against bums here.
Yeah, this isn't British Columbia. No disrespect to Manu, but it's like, I think he's a real deal. Nick, what do you think?
Yeah, I think he can be a part of this defensive line as soon as next season, the way that it lines up. And, I mean, to pair him with Reader and Aleem, I mean, like Spenmo was talking about, you finally have a rotation of defensive linemen, and we've been waiting for this for a long time. And we know what's coming with Aiden Hutchinson, third-year leap. I mean, I talk relentlessly about James Houston coming back strong. Like, this D-line is shaping up to be something that we haven't seen in a long time here in Detroit.
It's going to be great to not see guys like Bohanna and Latu out there getting meaningful snaps. Like they did their role and they filled in well, but like now we have actual guys that Brad Holmes trusted and drafted and are high talent. And like I got kind of attacked on Twitter for saying the same thing about Kendall Vildor, but it's true. Like Brad Holmes identified these position groups as not being good enough The interior defensive line and the cornerback rooms were not good enough. You had guys playing meaningful snaps in championship games that had no business being out there. So he went out there and he improved these rooms, and they actually have really, really good and deep talent now on both of those positions.
And to give context, the people attacking you, weren't they Vildor's boys or something like that?
Well, yeah, his was. That one was too, but there was other people too that were like,
I guess
he played hard for us. Don't say that. Yeah, he can play hard all you want. Hard doesn't always mean you win games. Brad Holmes literally told us by drafting 2 cornerbacks with the first 2 picks, Kendall Vildor-esque players will never get snaps in an NFC championship game again for the Detroit Lions. He said, like, that shit doesn't fly anymore. And Vildor, no disrespect, brother, but this is a business. And when you have a talent deficiency, you upgrade that room. And that's exactly what Brad Holmes did by investing his first 2 picks in the NFL draft in that situation.
Yeah, I mean, you got to talk about guys trying hard. I like that we developed a friendship somewhat with a guy named Joey Harrington.
Yeah.
Who's tried pretty fucking hard.
Everybody tries hard. They're athletes, man. They're professionals.
Didn't work out.
Vildor had some nice moments. Like, he was a great tackler.
Yeah.
He did some good things for us, but no doubt, like, would you like Kendall Vildor to be getting snaps in the Super Bowl this year?
I mean, the thing that translates to the reality is, like, he wasn't picked up to middle of the season. The same thing with a lot of the defensive tackles we got. I forgot the guy, Tyson Alahuahu. Yeah, we didn't grab till later on. Quentin Bonania, whatever the hell they say his last name. He was on and off, back and forth to the practice squad. Even my guy who's with KC now, too. Like, we didn't have an absolute answer at the defensive tackle spot.
Yeah.
It was a rotating door of different guys every single week.
Mm-hmm.
That was very clear those spots need to be addressed. Lo and behold, we addressed them. That's the beautiful thing about this draft, too, is, like, you could say Brad addressed needs and give him, like, he addressed needs. No, he still went BPA.
Mm-hmm.
He still went and grabbed the best player there. That's what he does. That's why this draft, for me, was such a fucking home run. Such a knock out of the park, because it wasn't just guys that obviously we felt that we needed, but they're also, like, best players available. And we know Brad, like, lives and dies by that when he took Jahmyr Gibbs and freaking Jack Campbell in the first round of last year. It wasn't like a need-based. No, they went and grabbed the best guys there, and I love it. You want to talk about Mahogany before we went to break, Christian Mahogany?
I do. I like this pick a lot for the Detroit Lions. Thought I had to sneeze, but I'm good.
I was like, what's going on?
Yeah, hit me for a second. But this is a guy who I said he was all conference. He is a mauler in the run game, an absolute mauler. He moves people around, and he didn't allow a sack or a quarterback hit in over 400 pass blocking snaps. He's a great fit. He's
pass blocking.
He was the best guard available, not even close when they made the pick. And he's not this, JPJ or Graham Barton who can play multiple positions and move around and fill in there and here and do this. He's just a fantastic guard. And we talked about it on BDE to when you have a NFC championship roster and your roster is littered with Pro Bowlers and all pros, you don't really need these guys that are going to bring in and be this ultimate player. I mean, it's nice to grab them, but you don't need you need supplemental draft picks to complement the people you already have. And that's exactly what Mahogany is. So if Zeitler moves on, when Zeitler moves on next year, if they want to do something else, you got a guy you could slide in right to that slot and he'll be ready to go.
This guy is crazy too, like listening to like just other people's draft reactions as well. But just, even when you watch the tape, like these guys, they're Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes guys. They're very consistent with that.
Yeah.
This guy's an absolute mauler, absolute beast. I think he's got a little bit of athleticism too. I saw that as a knock, but like the couple plays that I got to watch, the game that I watched, the half a game I should say, I saw him pulling. You remind me even a little bit of Jonah Jackson. Some of the stuff you missed right there. And we talked about Kevin Zeitler and how it is an upgrade over Jonah Jackson in terms of pass blocking. But I am not concerned. I actually just know he's not going to offer what Jonah Jackson did in the run game, at least when it comes to like pulling and whatnot. That's what the future has in store for you in Christian Mahogany. He offers that and more. And one thing they like too, a little bit of versatility, if you will. Chris, do you have the video?
Yeah.
He got rushing touchdown.
Oh, yeah, dude. This is awesome.
On top of that,
the Selly's elite.
Yes.
This is an all-time Selly.
This is where you confirm he's a Dan Campbell guy. Because what Dan Campbell say, there's beer, I'm there.
Hell yeah. Kegstand Selly.
Yeah. I love it, man.
Doesn't
no, he's
matter
a
if you
beast.
have
And
one
honestly, I think he's starting caliber
I will
this
beat your
year.
ass.
These picks in the 6th round is insane.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not the only ones saying this because we're like a Detroit like sports talk show. No. Around the league, people will tell you these picks in the 6th round specifically are knucking futz.
Yeah. Wow, nice. Shout out Gun Guy, take your pants off. And there is one thing that Neil said it on BDE today, that if I would have known this pre-draft, I would have said there's no doubt in my mind the Detroit Lions draft Mekhi Wingo. He played in LSU's bowl game this year.
Yeah,
he played in LSU's bowl game. When
most guys sit out.
They weren't in they weren't in the Final Four. They weren't in anything like that. They were in like the Sugar Bowl or something. So it's still a pretty big bowl game, but they mean nothing in college football now if it's not the college football playoff. And he played in it. He was like, "It's my duty. I'm a captain. I got to go out there and play with my guys." And that is as Dan Campbell as it gets. Like I would not. If I was in the exact same situation, no chance in hell I'm playing in that game. Because you get injured, you lose millions of dollars. But he's a football dude. He's a football guy. It's Brad Campbell, Dan Holmes guy.
He's a Brad Campbell guy.
Brad Campbell guy. I mean,
Dan
that
Holmes.
makes sense. Yeah. One thing too, part of his fall was injuries as well. I guess I reached out to
torn ACL 2022.
Yep. I reached out to Trevor. I was like, "Yo,
just like Holmes likes him."
I don't want to be a homer here, but like, what's up? Because these guys are actually pretty fucking good. Mm-hmm. And essentially, the base of it was he actually just texted back it was injuries. Before we got to hear Rook on this one, Korean Jesus. What are your takes on Mekhi Wingo and Christian Mahogany?
He called Christian Mahogany.
Called him?
Yeah.
Oh, like on the phone? I'm playing.
No.
Nice.
When we were in the studio, I was asking for Mahogany. Also, Johnny Wilson didn't get him. We've seen a lot of wide receiver love in the chat, but fortunately, we didn't get a receiver. But I love both picks. I think Wingo is very productive D tackle. I think that he's going to do wonders. I think Mahogany, like you said, has starting potential. But one thing I would rather touch on, because you guys have taken care of that part, is I think that this just shows that Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell are comfortable with their edge rushers. Mm-hmm. They do not see that as a big of a positional need as everyone else. They see that they have the archetypes of different players who can be plug and play in different scenarios, and they can be successful. And I think that he may make an addition in pre-camp. He might see a cut that he likes. He might not. He might add. He might not. Either way, I think that he just has such a finite vision on what he needs to win and be a successful football team. And I think that he showed that with how tactical he was with moving up, moving down, and getting who he wants.
Yeah, honestly, that's a great point, too, because I'm thinking even like the Bill Belichick era when he was winning all these damn Super Bowls. And they let guys go in free agency. They weren't really paying guys until Tom Brady left. They started spending a little bit of cheddar. It was very much a plug-and-play system. And that's kind of what if you have a system that works as well as ours, why not get some plug-and-play players that just fit if you got to move on from the other guy? That's just a long-term sustained success situation there, too. Now, obviously, Ben's a big part of that system, but we got, what's his name, Engstrand? Engstrand on the wings, too. So maybe he's got that system down. Again, as long as you plug and play, you can make that thing work.
It's fair. Tell us about Swiss.
I'll tell you about Swiss. I got Mark's the best over there. He'll make sure you're not getting jacked over on your rates or deductibles. Make sure you contact him directly, Mark at SwissINS.com. Again, that's Mark at SwissINS.com.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists. Enjoy a precision haircut, hot lather neck shave, scalp and neck massage, and a hot towel treatment to top it off. Enter for your chance to win the $50,000 Perfect Bracket Challenge. With more than 25 Metro Detroit locations, there's always a Lady Jane's near you. Lady Jane's Haircut for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
What's good, man? How you doing? What you got for me today? Let's have a look, man. I see the one I want right there. That's the one I'm looking for.
Welcome to the winner's circle, Blake. Hey. Figer Law. All we do is win. All we do is win.
Dispo Dispensary is your local cannabis plug because they got 12 locations and more on the way. Make sure you guys visit disposhops.com to find one near you. Also, check out Dispo Dash. If you guys can't make it there, got to be 21 and over. They'll deliver right to your door. It's Dispo Dash, disposhops.com, your local cannabis plug. What up, and welcome back to World Heavyweights Live, WorldSports.com. I'm Eazy, joined by some more Rax.
What up, though?
Young Chris, Nicholas Kohloff, a.k.a. Detroit Mario. We got Korean Jesus in the building.
Let's
kind of
go.
over Detroit Lions draft, and I see a couple comments already. The heavyweights are biased. I just told you in the last segment, I texted people who cover the league on a national level, and they had the same things to say. There's just a lot of the stuff with these two specifically were injured.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the other two we're going to talk about here, I don't think it was injuries. A little bit more developmental pieces. And
yeah,
honestly, I'm not going to lie to you. If I could be quite frank, I didn't like the move up for Manu and giving up that third-round pick.
Yeah.
Once I found out it was a third, I wasn't really comfortable with that. Especially when you put on the tape, he definitely looks like very much of a project.
Oh, for sure.
On top of the fact, I mean, obviously you see him 6'8" or 6'7", 280 pounds. I know this thing's shrinking. The 4.940 shows you he's got like athletic traits, but that was a pro day 4.940. We all know how pro days are. You kind of get the little extra like hometown cooking, a little boost on those numbers. But also when you put on the tape, you already know he's playing freaking British Columbia. If I'm giving up a third round for a fourth round pick, which sounds crazy already, I want to see the guy in that tape destroying these kids in the same division as British Columbia College, wherever the hell he went. You know what I'm saying? Like perfect example, right? When we took James Houston, we put on the tape for James Houston, mauling these guys.
Yes.
Clearly, like quite clearly, like levels above the competition. When you put on the tape for Giovanni Manu, I didn't get that. I just saw the size and potential. I didn't know if it's worth third-round pick in the fourth round, if I'm being frank.
Yeah, trading up to grab a third-round pick in the fourth round is questionable. I'll say that. But we talked about on BDE, they have the potential to get a lot of third-round picks back with guys that are going to be moving on, maybe coaches that are moving on. So those conditional picks might be coming to the Lions pretty quick here. But I like what I saw of his measurables, and that's what Brad Holmes obviously likes. I saw people saying like he is the slept-on dude in the draft. He's the ultimate sleeper in this draft. I never even heard the kid. I'm not going to sit here and say like I knew who he was before the Lions drafted him because I don't.
Articles of him getting hyped up, but it was more like a fun thing. It was more like, oh, yo, is this guy going to actually get drafted?
Like a fun story.
Like, it's like a fun story. Like, look at this freak show.
Yeah. Freak. Look at the freak. Yeah, he's 6'8", 350 pounds.
Yeah.
Runs a 4.9, has a 35-plus inch vertical. Like, it is an insane amount of athleticism in one giant body. And when you look at him, if you go watch his pro day highlights, he does not look like he is 350 pounds. The dude is lean and he is big. And like his thighs his calves are as big as my thighs. I'm not gonna say I love the pick because he definitely needs a lot of work. He needs a lot of work. So we'll see if it works out. But the Lions are in a situation on the offensive line where they can do that because they don't need day one starters. There's absolutely no day one starters you need on this offensive line. You brought in Christian Mahogany to be a plug and play player in case somebody gets hurt in the interior. This guy is a total project. He is going to take a while before he's ready to take NFL snaps. But what other situation would be better than this behind guys like Taylor Decker and Penei Sewell with one of the best offensive line coaches in the NFL and Hank Fraley? It's a good situation for Giovanni Manu to be stepping in, but it's going to take a lot of work before we see him out on the field for sure.
That's where I'm at with it. Like I'm fine with being excited about it. I just the expectations of it. I just don't think anybody should expect anything crazy here this year specifically. Go ahead. Which one of you said?
Something that is crazy is the fact that Broder told me that he can windmill dunk.
Yeah, he's 6'8".
Yeah, did you guys hear he's a basketball star?
Yeah, I was watching his highlights the other day.
Yeah.
Nasty.
No.
His basketball highlights, he was a lot of post work.
Insane. This reminds me a lot of the Broderick Martin draft pick. Not a lot of people knew about Broderick Martin. Brad Holmes went up and got him. So it's for a developmental type piece. Like no doubt he's not going to play in this first season. Maybe not even his second. Like we don't know where he's going to be at, but I've heard like a lot of like the comps and whatnot, but it's Jordan Mailata from the Eagles.
Who's a dog.
Exact similar size. So if you can maybe get something like that out of him after a year or two, obviously it looks great.
He's the biggest comp because not only the size, but he also didn't play football. He's a rugby player in Australia.
Yeah.
So that's a guy who had to learn the game. He's obviously already played the game. Manu has, but not on the level of the NFL. So the biggest thing he's going to have to get used to is the size and speed and physicality of the NFL. we'll see. We'll see what happens. If it hits, Brad Holmes will look like the smartest dude in the room again. But
yeah,
if not, it could be a big waste.
Yeah, and you know what? At some point, I'll send the video to Chris because it's not like copywritten. Literally, the film for this school was like the same it'd be for like high school film.
Yeah, the high school. It looked
that's
like
what
high
I'm
school
saying.
tape.
Like when you see this guy like this out there, a prospect like that, I want to see him fucking demolishing these guys.
Same thing.
That's just me, especially if you're moving up for it. But again, it's Brad Holmes. I see the upside. I just know it's gonna take some minute to refine what he. And by the way, we were right on that with Broderick Martin last year too. You and I are the ones who are like, yeah, I don't really like how high he's standing. I don't really like how high he's up. Guess what? Broderick Martin didn't get a lot of reps last year.
Yeah,
they need some work.
Now Simone Vaki, on the other hand, this is a guy who played a lot of collegiate football at the highest level because he played at Utah and he played both ways. Like he played running back and he played safety. And if you throw on his highlight, if you watch Utah defense at all last year, like this dude, he's flying around, he's making hits, he's blowing people up. He's an impressive player. He's exactly what they like. He's Will Harris 2.0, but better. And I think the biggest impact that Vaki will have is on special teams. Like with him and Jalen Reeves-Maben in special teams doing things, you put him and Jalen Reeves-Maben as the personal protectors in the punt unit. We know Dan Campbell likes to fake those punts a lot. Now you got two guys back there that are capable of doing it. Simone Vaki averaged over 7 yards per carry in college football last year. Like he's an explosive runner. So I don't think I'm not saying he's going to be an all-pro or anything like that, but I think he could be a great special teamer. And if they do decide to part from one of the safeties that they have, he's a guy who can fill in back there.
Yeah, and I guess for myself too, these two prospects were the ones Brad said he woke up and he wanted to get them. He had a hunch about them. Went and talked to Dan. Dan had the same hunch about the same two guys that same morning. So obviously that explains why they're kind of ultra aggressive to get them. Maybe they saw that as a sign. And if you put it, you take the sound off if you want, Chris, so we talk over it. I mean, this is stuff I was talking about with Manu. If you guys are unfamiliar, didn't watch it. Again, still freak. And something I think they'll develop into, or hopefully down the line, because we also have one of the best offensive line coaches in the league, Hank Fraley, who's been doing it for a very long time. Produced a lot of, I say, Pro Bowl caliber offensive linemen. Jonah Jackson being the one to get paid most recently. Or actually, no, Penei Sewell. But yeah, I mean, look at these. These are like this guy next to him, very, very small. I want to see him in the dirt a lot earlier than that.
He did put him in the dirt.
Like, you get where I'm coming from though? Like,
you put that dude in the dirt too?
Did he?
Yeah.
Turn my head around.
He didn't throw him to the ground.
I'm trying to see some.
All three people have been on the ground in these first three.
It ain't how you want to see it.
I think Easy's looking for some Michael Orr from the blind side taking him through the play.
He literally every single highlight has ended with him on top of a dude on the ground.
I think you're incorrect in that, sir. I don't know if you're watching.
Restart it.
Stuff.
It's
just
on a loop. It's on a loop. Chill. Let's use our inside voices.
Like that level of competition. Like we talk about taking guys from like Harvard or like those kind of schools. Those kids would smash the kids that are playing from British Columbia.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So I want to see him. I want to see like Penei Sewell-esque highlights from the offensive line. He played a little bit of guard too.
That
was a good rep.
He's the majority of these he's been putting people on the ground.
I don't agree.
What do you mean you don't agree? We're watching it.
It's a factual statement.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's another one.
Definitely seeing different things.
I don't know what you're seeing.
Not seeing dominance.
I've seen 3 in a row now.
We just said put them on the ground.
Does that guy go? That guy goes to the ground.
There you go.
That's 4 in a row.
Yeah, I guess I'm not talking about putting. I'm talking about dominating reps, not very end of the rep. 6'8" guy push the guy over while the play's winding down. But essentially, I'd like to see more at that level of competition. But again, it's Brad making a pick. I didn't scout this guy, and he had other top 30 visits too. The Cowboys were very interested in him as well. So there's got to be something there. Obviously, we kind of know what it is. It's a freak athleticism at 6'8". Yeah. And by the way, like a shredded 380.
He's not.
No slob.
Yeah.
No slob at all. That guy is beast.
You talked about it during the draft a little bit, but this is a guy that I want to see in training camp, no doubt. See how he looks against some of our starters for sure. But when you talk about a guy like Vaikai, 10 yards per touch, Vaki, 10 yards per touch, like that is a weapon on the offensive side of the ball where Ben Johnson, he can play around with it a little bit. We'll see what happens if he does get snaps on the offense, but to have 10 yards per touch, obviously there's something to that. you can't deny that for when it comes to
Valky. No, that kid, I think he had back-to-back games with 150 yards all-purpose, both catching and running the ball. The other thing with him is the way I see it. That's the other part of this one as well. Get to have the dreams or visions, whatever, and both woke up. Okay, let's go get these guys. Definitely fits the mold of a Dan Campbell guy. I think it was all Pac-12, all that good stuff. I think with him, I'm just curious what they're going to be. My thoughts on it is, one, you hit it on the money. Special teams.
Yeah.
I think receiving and or just defensively, or maybe even because he's 5'11". He's not small. I even see him maybe in some weird.
He could be like the Taysom Hill of
reps, maybe. I don't even know.
He could be like the Taysom Hill of everything except quarterback. He could play fullback, wide receiver, running back, safety, nickel. You could put him all around the offense and defensive backfield.
Officially announced as a running back too. So the way I view it is, I think it's a little bit of a Khalif Raymond role, kind of, or sometimes Amon-Ra or Khalif will come out of that backfield, or they also might just audible out of the backfield into the slot or the Y or whatever. I'm thinking maybe that kind of stuff. Because we have running backs that are going to get the snaps.
Yes.
Maybe Craig is up. Maybe his job will be competed for, just because we already heard the Hard Knocks 2 years ago. He was already on the cutting table. Vaki's
making the team.
Vaki's for sure making the team. You don't make the move up unless he's complete ass, and don't let him. Yeah, he's making the team, absolutely. I'm just saying Craig is the guy I'm talking about where his job is on the table. They already talked about cutting him 2 years ago on Hard Knocks. You know what I'm saying? But between David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs, I just don't know how often he's going to get reps as the actual running back.
Yeah, he's going to get a lot of reps, but it's not going to be at one position. You're going to see him on the field a lot, but he's not going to be stuck to one position. If you watched Utah at all last year, they lost Cam Rising, didn't have their starting quarterback for the majority of the year. And this is a guy that they've fed a lot of their offense to. They needed explosive plays. They looked to him, and he was flying around on that defense. The Utah defense is pretty damn good, him being one of the guys that stood out.
Yeah, it felt early for both these guys. It's crazy because, the other guys I got in the 6th round, I'm like, yo, how the hell did they get there? And then these guys in the 4th round, I'm like,
Brandon Dog says, don't compare him to Peppers. That's literally the best comparison for him, is Jabril Peppers.
Yeah, technically, yeah.
They did the same exact.
You're not wrong. I don't think there's anything better. Let's go to break. When we get back, continue on this time about the piece you guys want to talk about for sure. Reggie Straw, Terrion Arnold, maybe mixing in with the whole entire draft grade, but not before you tell us about Les Stanford.
Les Stanford, what happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. That is exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC, the same great service to customers who come to know and trust on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today and find the brand you want at lesstanford.com.
Here, Premier Pet Supply, man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola, really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody!
Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza is taking over Michigan. Locations are popping up all over Metro Detroit, doubling the number of restaurants this year. Known for their quality, hand-battered, hand-breaded chicken tenders, their sandwiches, and their New York-style pizza. Be sure to stop in and try one at a mega station near you or go to Sorokis.com to figure out where you can get some of the great food.
Shout out Justin Rogers sends me this. It's a tweet of his. Says Brad Holmes said the staff felt like Vaki is one of the best special teams players in this draft. No team sees some potential kick return value too, and that's exactly what we hit on.
Yeah. It's, I mean, like I said,
kick return game is a big emphasis too now. It's changed.
Yeah.
And then the lines are a big part of that.
He's not going to be your all-pro running back or safety or anything like that, but he could be your all-pro special teamer. He could be a guy that like is was it Slater for the Patriots? I know Flannel hates it. Flannel hates all special teams. He thinks they mean nothing and they're no importance to NFL. But that's gaslighting for sure.
Neil. Yeah.
He could be a great special teamer. And like I said, if you put him and Jalen Reeves-Maybin back there as the personal protectors on the punt unit, that could be pretty dangerous, and teams would have to worry about both of those guys potentially faking, running, or throwing. So,
yeah, it's weird because both these guys obviously feel like projects, where the other two in the 6th round. Am I the only one who feels that way? Like those guys?
It's true. It feels like those two would be the 6th round picks.
Yeah. Right? And those are two they made moves. 3rd round pick for Manu.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see. Like I said, Brad Holmes is him.
Manu's upside is insane. I don't like trading a 3rd round pick to get him.
No.
Because it is a lot of upside, but I got faith in Brad.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in his next ether.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
No, I'll say I don't like trading my 3rd round pick to go up to get him.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. The 3rd round pick is tough because if you even think about the players who were available in the 3rd round this year, there was still a bunch of elite talent in that 3rd round, exposed to that run on offense, and especially on defense because they're on offense.
We got a lot of picks next year though, so that's good.
Actually, I just had to pull up to our picks from next year.
8, I think. The only round we don't have a pick is the 3rd.
Yes. Yep.
We had 2 in the 4th, but now we only have 1.
Well, we gave up the other 4th.
Yeah,
back to the Eagles.
Now we only have 1.
So we have 2025 Detroit Lions draft picks: 1st round, 2nd round, no 3rd round, 1 4th round, 5th round, the extra 6th round we got from Carlton Davis, and 2 7s.
32, 32, 64. Go down the line there with the first.
And who knows? Maybe we end up getting that 3rd round back some way somehow. Who's to say?
They're gassing. Korean Jesus in the chat because they want more of the cake cam. You guys are horn dogs.
Oh, man. Who's in the cake cam today?
Alyssa.
Oh, shout out. Shout out to Korean Jesus. Shout out to Alyssa. Smash that like button. Be a friend. Tell a friend. Share the stream. The next guy. Or 2 guys. And we talked about it, how we partied all night Thursday. Had a 2-hour drive back.
Mm-hmm.
Then just restart the process again at 3-1-3 party for round 2 and 3. And I was kind of dead. Felt like a zombie.
Yeah, I went out.
And then you went out again after.
Saturday night.
And then, I'm mixing up Friday.
Well, I went out Friday too.
Oh, yeah, you won the tournament, didn't you?
Saturday was the tournament. No, I didn't win.
Oh, I saw you take a picture.
The winners. I was taking because I do the bracket and administrate it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Either way, I'm zombified. I'm dead, tired. I felt bad because it's my first time meeting Korean Jesus, and I was kind of like, yeah, dude, yeah, it's cool, whatever. The one thing that wake me up, Spinny, without any drugs, any caffeine, outside of the bartender, was when it finally clicked in my head. After the Drake Shaw pick, which I'm not going to lie, I was like, whoa, wow. But then when it clicked in my head, the fucking evil genius in Brad Holmes and what he did in this defensive back room, that's when I got excited. And Nick was there when I was kind of going off when Flannel Sam and KG were on.
Yeah.
But dude just took so many dogs, and he put them in the same kennel. And it's so fucking brilliant, especially when you have a guy like Terrion Arnold, which I've been on record saying I don't think there's a top 10 cornerback in this class, but there's guys with potential. That's what he is, and you truly want him to develop. Put the young pup, the young ravaging pup, if you will, in the same kennel with a guy like Carlton Davis, who won himself a Super Bowl and got a big contract before getting traded. Now he's pissed off, has something to prove. Amik Robinson, who you paid, who finally thinks he's going to get his big break as a starter, who is watching film at 3 a.m. in the morning. Then you draft 2 quarterbacks, disrespected. He's hungry. He's like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
Another dog. You got Emmanuel Mosley, who started NFC Conference Championship games for the 49ers, who tore two ACLs back-to-back, He's hungry. He's got shit to prove. Kendall Vildor with his disrespect. That's the perfect environment for these young pups to grow into what they can be.
Yeah.
They're not going to learn from these guys, but competing against these guys who are constantly bringing it every single day on top of having those attributes in their own damn right. You hear Terry Arnold speak about him in his entire life. He's had these aspirations and just working hard and knowing what it takes to get there. Same with Ennis Rakestraw. He looked unhappy when he got drafted, but it wasn't because it was to the Detroit Lions. No, it was because he didn't think he was 61st best player in this draft. He was talking about being a first-round pick once upon a time. Yeah. Everybody in that defensive back room has something to prove, and is going to bring out the best of each other when it comes to camp.
Iron sharpens iron, man, and these guys are going to be going at it in camp. You got spots that all of them think they are deserving of. All of them think they can be in, but there's only 2 of them that can do it. So you're going to put these guys to war against each other in camp, man. I'm excited to see it. And it gives you the flexibility of not only I forget who brought it. I think Neil brought it up or maybe Broder brought it up on Saturday, saying like maybe we see more 5-down lineman sets now with all the versatility you have on the defensive line. You could do that. We could see dime sets, like with the amount of potential starting defensive backs we have. Aaron Glenn has so much versatility on his team, on his defense, to be able to do anything he really wants and to be able to run any set that he wants with the depth at defensive line and the depth in the defensive back room. You can do so many different things, and I'm excited to see these guys go at it. I'm excited to see this training camp and how hard they're going to be playing, because all of them think they deserve that starting spot. When Emmanuel Mosley is healthy, we have 5 starting caliber cornerbacks on this team. So somebody's going to be pissed off because they don't get, that job. But like I said, Brad Holmes is never going to allow a walk-on or an in-season signing to get major snaps in an NFC Championship game again in this team, because he went out there and he got 2 guys that are going to be fighting for that cornerback 2 position year 1. And now we're not over a barrel when it comes to a Carlton Davis contract, because you've got guys that have the potential to be starters in this league.
Yeah, I'm very curious what happens with that one too, because again, I'm just pointing out. I don't even want to go there actually, but I would hate to have lost or given up a 3rd-round pick for guys just a rental, unless we go out there and win the Super Bowl. Obviously, that'd make a lot more sense. But regardless, I guess takes on the players themselves. Rakestraw, extremely quick, extremely sticky. I know people look at the long speed and look at the 40 time and say it's not there, but you got to remember too, he was battling a groin injury during that combine. I mean, just another example of him being a Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes guy. The fact that he tried to bully himself through that and still pursue to perform at that combine. But if you put on the tape, a lot quicker than what that 40 time says. He's really, really sticky, really, really physical, a willing tackler. Someone put out a highlight of there. I think it might have been.
He smacks people more than a willing tackler.
Yes.
He lays the stick on people.
And I don't know who put it out there. Shout out to whoever's Twitter page it is. If you're listening, I hope you shout yourself out. But there's a highlight of him just taking Jaden Daniels, just slamming him down
I love
like
that
an
one.
8th grader.
He's an attack dog.
Exactly.
He is that pit bull on the chain ready to go. I love Rakestraw as a prospect. I obviously love Terry and Arnold as a prospect. Lions defensive back room, it's gonna be a dogfight. It's gonna be guys going out there trying to take the souls of the receivers on the other teams, because they know if you fuck up, you got a dog waiting behind you, and you might not get that spot back if he gets back in the game. So I love it.
His style plays perfect too to what AG likes to do. I guess and true DNA of what he likes to run, that press man coverage. I mean, that's what both these cornerbacks fit. Both Terry Arnold and Ennis Rakestraw. I'm speaking more on Rakestraw right now, but yeah, I think he's everything that people were talking about him being drafted at 29 initially. Yeah. He could have been taken at 29, and you guys probably saw it so many times in previous mock drafts from what word I'm looking for, analysts or whatever, that you probably wouldn't have batted an eye at it. You'd be like, yeah, I mean, I saw him there a couple times. No, you got him at 61, which is a huge value. And the Terry Arnold thing too is for him, or actually,
best cornerback in the
did you want to say something on Rakestraw before I move on? I apologize.
I mean, I just like the physicality and the fact that you're bringing him in. The only thing on Rakestraw that I would like to see is him come down with a few more of those interceptions when he gets the opportunity. But I think he will in this defense if he does get the playing time to do so. That's just the only thing, is converting those passes defended into interceptions. But I love the player, and the fact that you got him in the 2nd round, that part I really like about it. First round at 29 would have been a little questionable, but falling all the way to 61, that's all right, let's hop on this immediately.
Huge W. Shout out to my guy Sam. He brought up the same point earlier today too. But At the end of the day, as a cornerback, your job is not to allow catches.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not bragging on you, but I don't care to see the interception numbers. I personally don't. Your job is to stop them from catching the ball. And at some points, if you're doing your job so well, they're not even throwing the ball your way. So you have 0 stats, pass deflections or interceptions. So if you have less interceptions, I'm not going to use that to rag on you. Obviously, like Nick said, you'd like to see it, but I don't need it. Yeah. As long as you're doing your job as a man cover.
Saw it a lot out of future CB1.
Yeah.
That we're going to get to.
Python Knight says some people claim these 2 cornerbacks as zone guys. Those people know absolutely no ball if someone says that.
Especially if talking about Arnold. That's crazy.
I think that a very underrated thing, though, also about our secondary, and I referenced this on Friday with you guys, is that our secondary can tackle. And that is a huge difference between a lot of secondaries in the NFL. They struggle to tackle with their corners. But with our corners, that is a strength. All our corners are elite tacklers, and I think that plays a very, very big factor with high-level yak guys like Keenan Allen in our league.
Especially now that you can't tackle them from behind. You got to tackle them when they're in front of you. Guys that could step up and make that hit now is extremely important. And we saw Raxter and Terrion Arnold do that a lot in their collegiate careers. And the Runyon 99 says, Spencer, notice that all of these picks on both sides have a nasty streak in them. And that's part of the Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes guy, is to be nasty, aggressive. One of Aaron Glenn's first quotes in a press conference that he had when he was hired, he said, I want to bring violence back to football. I want to bring the violence back to this defense.
Make football violent again.
And, dude, you got guys to do it. Like I said, Raxter is not just a good tackler. He fucks people up. He puts you in the dirt. Chris, I saw you raise your head. Do you want to say something?
Yeah, I'm really glad that they added 2 cornerbacks to the room, because I talked about it on the show before that there's a need to build this room for the long run, and that's what this did. This draft allowed them to build their cornerback room for multiple years, not just this season. It doesn't tie you to the players that you traded for and acquired. And there was this tweet, Eazy, that I wanted to get up earlier when you were mentioning it, and you guys were speaking on the competition. I mean, one person that's in there that loves it is Amik. He said that himself. He said, he a gangster for real. That's how you want it. I fuck with it. I wouldn't have it no other way. When Brad Holmes said they got to compete and win spots. So this is exactly what you want. But I'm glad now that you have, like you said, you wouldn't want to waste that 3rd round capital that you used to acquire Carlton Davis, but you also don't want to have to re-sign a guy that you really aren't completely satisfied with. Not saying that's the case, but saying if you don't have the cornerback depth, then you might have been forced to sign somebody a long time ago. How you felt about golf?
Talk about the physicality real quick. Brad Holmes, I'm pretty sure he called the Christian Mahogany a dirtbag.
Yeah,
got that New Jersey dirtbag attitude or something.
Hell yeah, dude. That's what you want. Like offensive. I've said it multiple times. Offensive line and defensive line, you can't be nice. You can't be nice and play those positions. You just can't. Your job is to hit the other person no matter what. And seeing guys like this in the secondary too, with the Brad Holmes quote where he says they got to earn the spot, and Amik Robertson loves it. Real recognize real.
Yeah.
And we know Brad Holmes is real, and we don't know Amik Robertson too much, but he seems like he's pretty damn real. Yeah. So he knows. That's how he's been his whole career. That's how he's been thought of and on the bench for half of his career. And when he has his opportunity, he takes it, and he tries with it. Like, I expect him to do the same thing in Detroit. I love it, man. Amik Robertson's a dog. Raxter, Terrion Arnold, both dogs. Like you said, that was a bar by you. You got all these dogs. You put them in the same kennel. Like, that secondary room is going to go to war this offseason.
Bars.
Great bar by you. Talking about the new rule change. Yeah. You can't tell guys from the back. Look at that secondary, the all willing and physical tacklers from Kirby Joseph to the point where pussy-ass Viking fans are calling him dirty. You got Brian Branch, who me and you watched him put on a clinic against the Falcons.
Decapitated Bijan Robinson.
Raxter,
awesome.
Arnold, Amik. Again, in a league we're not allowed to tackle from behind anymore. To have those guys as a secondary piece of defense moving forward on these guys, that's huge. I didn't even think of that. That was a brilliant point by you, Spinny. But we are well over the break. Where do you get your haircut?
Lady Jane's, obviously, because awesome is when a guy can be a guy and get an amazing haircut. Lady Jane's haircuts for men. Football guy, man. Guy's a guy. He's going to be a guy. Lady Jane's haircuts for men. Stop in, sit back, relax. Let one of Lady Jane's talented stylists make you look and feel great. Walk in anytime, 7 days a week. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Thank you to the Detroit Lions and Sheila Ham for the best season in Lions history. Now it's time to let Brad Holmes cook. Woodward Sports.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Give your pet the best. Premier Pet Supplies, hands down, Michigan's best pet store. Same prices and all the conveniences of the online and big box retailers with one major difference. They're family and locally owned and operated for 30-plus years. Over 60 brands of food with nutrition experts to help you. Same day, local curbside home delivery. Premier Pet Supply. Give your pet the best. www.premierpetsupplies.com.
What up, though? Welcome back to World Heavyweights Live, WorldSports.com. I'm Eazy, joined by some more Rax.
What up, Joe?
Chris, Nicholas Kohloff, a.k.a. Detroit Mario.
Let's
Got
go.
Korean Jesus in the building. Just kind of gushing over the Detroit Lions, new look secondary. I really don't even know. I'm trying to think. We had this conversation on Friday.
Yes.
Is Terry going to start or not?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't know if he's a bust
if he doesn't.
I said he's an all-pro first year season. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I'm about to say, hold on, what?
Guessing
know.
himself.
I know. Oh, actually, yeah, one of them are going to start for sure. Somebody's going to move down to that
nickel.
Yeah.
You think Branch is going to be safety all the time?
Yeah, I mean, Dan said it. It's specifically so they can have him on the field at all times because he is a playmaker.
Yeah.
Playmaker against, and by the way, like vital interceptions. Pick six. Well, no, only one was pick six, but against the Saints, that was a much needed interception at that time, point in the game. Obviously, against the Chiefs, he picked it off for a pick six to tie it up.
And
you want him on the field at all times.
I love what Iffy did for this team last year, but I think we can all agree that Brian Branch is a better player or has the potential to be a better player in this NFL. Iffy in that role, the stats he was putting up with the sacks and interceptions and stuff, that's Brian Branch next year. He's gonna put up all pro numbers. I'm excited. I love Brian Branch. I love Iffy too, and I thank Iffy for what he did.
Yeah, disrespect.
Thank you for your service, brother. But
you calling him a bum?
Yeah, you're the one who said Branch is gonna start over him, so I'm going off of that.
Yeah, that's what Dan Campbell said. We want him at the safety spot.
Yeah,
and if he's not gonna play Kirby's spot, I think Kirby is really underrated. I don't know why I know why people sleep on him, just because he's up there trying to make up for everybody else's mistakes, and he's just in the frame when bad shit's happening. But Kirby's a dog.
Yes, he is.
You think about the pick against the Minnesota Vikings. I mean, so many of his interceptions are like playmaking-ass interceptions, and people just, for some reason, gloss over and ask for Justin Simmons or whoever the hell else is out there as a free agent, who are still free agents, by the way, whether by their own doing or not. I can't speak.
You got a
that,
good safety room. You got a good cornerback room.
Absolutely.
Secondaries in great hands, and they're all going to have to fight for spots.
So I
Because
guess
if he goes out there and he's playing like he was at the end of the season, all training camp, they're not going to take that spot away from him.
No, they're not. He was balling out of his mind.
Yeah.
He's playing phenomenally. In that short span of time, he put up like numbers that guys put up in like the whole 17-game season.
He had
multiple interceptions, multiple sacks,
season.
Forced fumble on the Russ sack too. Clutch moments at times too, because he's the one who got the interception that sealed the deal for the division.
Division sealing interception. Yep.
I guess. All right. So one of these rookies are starting. Who is it and where? Is it outside? Is it nickel? I guess I'll start with you because you're the one who put the expectations from day one for Arnold.
Yeah.
Is he starting outside? You moving to Meek in the middle?
Yeah, I'm putting Terry on the outside off rip. I think if Brad Holmes is going up to get you, using a high third rounder to go up and get that player that he has obviously done his research on, cornerback snob himself, Brad Holmes is going up and getting you in the first round. Yeah, that's a starter on my defense 100% of the time. A lot of the analysts had him going had him as their top cornerback. We saw the production there, 5 interceptions in his last season at Alabama, and you're adding that to a secondary of Brian Branch, playmaker, like we just talked about, Kirby Joseph, playmaker, like we just talked about. There are going to be a lot more defensive turnovers on this team, and I think Arnold's going to be a big key reason why, and I think he's going to start off right.
Yeah, I guess I probably see him starting at the outside too.
Yeah.
Just from like, and again, Meek's a dog. I don't think his size, he makes up for it with that attitude, with that physicality, with the size difference. But I've always felt he's better suited at the nickel position versus like playing outside corner. Matter of fact, that's what he was going to play before the freaking Cam Sutton stuff happened too. So, yeah, that's probably how I see it going down.
And the confidence to say, literally after getting drafted, that you're going to wear a gold jacket.
Yeah.
That's the type of guy that I want on this defense with that confidence, talking that shit to other teams' number ones. I'm talking DJ Moore. I'm talking Justin Jefferson. I'm talking Romo Dudze. I want that guy talking against him all day. And I think he's a perfect fit in this defense, and a key reason why I think we're going to be right where we want to at the end of the season, because this defense is going to take a massive step forward.
Yeah, when I forget who I was talking about to, and it's maybe something completely unrelated, but we talking about Kanye's like confidence and how he like,
yeah.
But no, if you ever watched like that documentary he had on Netflix there for a minute, he had always like spoken of himself as a guy who's going to be who he became.
Yeah.
And I felt the same way too about like Antonio Brown, like another guy that talks. He sounds crazy, but when you've spoke these things into existence your entire life, how could you like? Where do you limit yourself at that point? You know what I'm saying? Like especially guys in their shoes, where they start out in like in the slums or less than ideal situations to multimillionaires, and they spoke it all to existence, went out and accomplished it. Terrion gives you that same vibe, the same feeling. I mean, I didn't get to watch it, but I saw a clip from Welcome to the NFL rookie, and there's a clip from him as like a freaking, I don't even know how, probably 8 years old, missing a front tooth. And he's like, I want this so bad. I cry for it. I can cry right now. I know what it takes to success, and I haven't reached my goals yet. But like to have that attitude your entire life, that's insane. It's insane. When you're those things, you're one of two things. You're Chris and delusional, or you're going to go out there and work hard and make it happen. I'm just kidding. I'm just making, give you some motivation, Chris.
I want it.
But Terrion Arnold very much obviously fits the mold of a guy that's going out there and make it happen when he landed himself in the first round. That's how I see it. I think he's going to be a dog. I see him outside corner.
I think Terrion Arnold's going to start, and I think he starts at outside corner. Like, that's what they drafted him to be. That's what they expect him to be, and I think that's what he is. I think he is an outside corner. I think he has cornerback 1 potential. I think he's the best cornerback in this draft, and I was at Nate Wiggins for a while, but then I kind of switched over to Terrion Arnold after really breaking him down. But I think both of those guys are going to be fantastic players. And I think Terrion will be ready week 1. And you do move Amik Robertson to more of the nickel role. You're going to have so many options that you can do so many different things in the secondary.
And I don't know if I forgot I reported it or not, but we weren't the only ones who wanted to trade up at 24 for Terrion. I believe Baltimore was one of those teams, which obviously they took Nate Wiggins, so obviously they were looking to grab one of these like DBs in this draft class. All the names, Houston was one too. All the names this person sent me though were all teams that you would expect their defensive opinions. Talking about for D'Amico Ryans, the Baltimore, they were guys that want to acquire a dog, and that's what Terrion is. I'm with you. Now that again, put in perspective of Meek jumping into that nickel spot, I think Terrion's definitely gonna start outside.
Yeah, one thing that hasn't been touched on by you guys is I think that there's a character aspect that goes into a number 1 corner. I think there's an aura that comes with it that you are kind of a menace. You see Jair Alexander with the sword swipe and how he gets in receivers' heads psychologically. I think that Arnold is that type of guy. He seems like he is. The post-draft interview, he's just got something about him where he can do that job for you, where you can just set up. He's the potential to just lock up an entire side of the field in man coverage, pressing, with him being a good tackler. And it sets up great for how the rest of the division is orchestrated.
Mm-hmm. That's the other piece of it that I see Adrian in the Woodward Sports chat keeps asking about the NFC North, which we will get to. But first, we got to get to Chris and then an ad read. What are you about to say, Chris?
I was just gonna say I love this because again, not only does it provide that long-term flexibility in what Terrion can do, but I see this as a situation where a lot like Gibbs last year, where I think he's gonna be strung along. I don't necessarily think he's gonna start week 1, but I don't think that a rookie's success is defined by starting week 1 or not. I think you look at the way Gibbs came on at the end of the season. Campbell improved consistently throughout the season. Like, these young guys, you expect to grow as the season progresses. Hutch was really the only defensive guy that was young that was immediately put into the spotlight and was just thrusted like, here's all this responsibility. And we saw, like, it was a shaky rookie season for Hutch. Not a bad one, but one that definitely had its flaws. So this is a situation where he doesn't have to come in and be that week 1 starter. So don't place that expectation on him. At the end of the day, would you rather have him making plays in week 1 against the Packers, or would you rather have him making plays in the NFC Championship against the 49ers? That's what it comes down to.
That's law.
Chris, the contrary, though, is you're using a high third-round pick, obviously, and your first to go up and get this guy.
Clear out, though. I got this. It doesn't matter what you gave up if in the ends justify the means. And so what you're counting on is him to make big plays, or a few big plays in a few big moments, and then all of a sudden nobody cares about that third-round pick you gave up. Like you could call a trade. You could call a trade overvalued. You could call a trade that's overvalued and say that was too much to give up. But if the results give you the results you want, then it's no longer an overvalued trade. It's what you need to do.
I think you brought the perfect point and I brought up Jack last week, but I think you brought a perfect one with Jameer.
Yeah.
Jameer wasn't seeing the field that much in the beginning of the season. But then obviously came on and averaged the most yards per carry. Almost had 1,000 yards with splitting those carries and missing games due to just being a rookie and just freaking injury too. Like,
and peaked at the right time.
Yeah, don't force the issue, don't press the issue. That's not how these things work. It's a whole different level of the game.
Yeah, I'm not saying force it by any means. I'm saying I have faith in Terrion Arnold that he will be ready week 1, and I think it's different when you have a guy like David Montgomery that was already there behind this offensive line, where you were able to feed him in a little bit less like at the beginning. But when it comes to Arnold, the guy that you just traded up to go get, we know we have Carlton Davis on the other side, but we're still waiting on Mosley to get back from injury. We know Robertson can play slot, so that's why I'm saying I think there's more opportunity than maybe Gibbs had at the beginning.
Yeah, that's a good point too. I mean, I think he will start on the outside, bump him the inside. The other thing too is, I mean, we've seen AG do it last year. We talked about this Friday too. Is like, we're actually with Herm. If you're a good player, if you're a talented player, they're gonna find a spot for you on the field.
Yeah.
Just as they put Malcolm at fullback.
Yep.
Just as they put freaking Branch at nickel. He didn't play nickel before last year.
Yeah.
He was always at the safety spot for Alabama.
But Jack Campbell at Sam, like
exactly.
This regime, if you make plays, they're gonna put you on the field.
Yep.
And so it might not be on Terrion Arnold. Like, it might. Who knows? Maybe Rakeshaw goes out there and is locking everybody down in camp and he gets the start. So we'll see. But it's gonna be a battle.
When we get back, breaking down the NFC North, because things have definitely got interesting, at least for me. But first, tell us about Glorious Cannabis.
Yes, sir. Glorious Cannabis is back with a new ice water bubble hash pre-roll with diamonds. Constantly pushing to create the best canna experience. That perfect boost comes from the added touch of pure THC diamond dust, allowing flowers only the highest terps to make the best even better. Glorious Cannabis. Check them out at your local retailer or visit gloriouscannabis.com.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi experts, Woodward Sports.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists. Enjoy a precision haircut, hot lather neck shave, scalp and neck massage, and a hot towel treatment to top it off. Enter for your chance to win the $50,000 Perfect Bracket Challenge. With more than 25 Metro Detroit locations, there's always a Lady Jane's near you. Lady Jane's Haircut for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Love Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Friday we had a great time. Friday we were enjoying some Hyman eclairs. Guess where you guys get some? That's Dispo Dispensary, your local cannabis plug. With over multiple locations across the great state of Michigan. Find one near you. Visit disposhops.com. My personal favorite, the one in Romeo's, opens at midnight. Make sure you guys get there or get delivered to your door with Dispo Dash. Again, that's disposhops.com. Dispo Dispensary, your local cannabis plug. What up, though? Welcome back to Woodward Heavyweights live on WoodsportsCom. I'm your boy Eazy. Join my guy Spin More Rex.
What up, though?
Young Chris, Nicholas Kohloff,
Let's
aka
go.
Detroit Mario, Korean Jesus in the building.
Yeah.
Yo, smash the like button for Jesus in the building. That's all I'm saying. We're making things happen here on the Heavyweights. Speaking of making things happen, Detroit Lions came through last year, shut the NFC North down. All right, they deboed that shit. Won it, snatching chains off necklaces, disrespecting everybody. However, the rest of the NFC North has some things to say. They definitely stockpiled some ammunition to fight back. Put up whatever one you want first, Chris. We'll talk about it. We'll go off whatever you were able to put up there.
Let's start with the team that picked first. Let's start with the Bears.
Ooh. All right. Now, these aren't our grades. This is a graphic from 3013, but just a visual representation of their draft class, Spinny. I guess what were your takeaways from the Bears draft class?
Yeah, I mean, kind of sucks. Like, I kind of sucks for us, not for the Bears. Like, those first three picks are very good. They got the guy to throw the football, they got another guy to catch the football, and they got a guy to protect the guy that throws the football. The punter in the fourth round is pretty stupid, but whatever. Austin
they traded
Booker,
back into that fourth round to grab him. Too,
yeah, he is the best punter in this draft, so I mean, you got that, but like taking a punter in the fourth round is kind of
good job, Chicago.
Yeah, way to go, Chicago. Austin Booker is a great pick. Austin Booker in the fifth round to go opposite of Montez Sweat. I really like the Bears draft outside of the punter in the fourth round.
Yeah, I like to climb back in there to get Austin Booker. Obviously, if you guys watch the show regularly, that's a guy that I've always liked throughout the draft process. Obviously, really raw, but I felt like he has the potential to be something special. But the rest of it, I mean, you can't go wrong with that one. They have a top 3 receiving core, in my mind. When you look at the triplets between DJ Moore, now Roma Dunze, and Keenan Allen. And I don't know if they're re-signing Keenan Allen or not, but they probably can afford to. Now they got Caleb Williams on a rookie deal. It could be dangerous, man. It could be dangerous. I'm not going to lie.
Dangerous.
It's
talked about like how you can run, DJ Moore in the flats, shorter part of field, Keenan Allen in the middle, and then Roma Dunze over top. Like it's going to be a tough trio of wide receivers for teams to cover. Good thing the Lions got 12 defensive backs.
Exactly.
And I don't know if it was. I don't necessarily believe it was on purpose because again, I think Brad goes BPA regardless. But I mean, thank God we did stockpile on the DBs that we did because I feel like we're gonna need it on these rookie deals for the years to come. Bears had a pretty solid draft. Maybe we'll just rank them all when we're done. But yeah, Bears definitely they did the thing. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, not gonna lie. There might have been a little bit of prospect fatigue with Caleb Williams. He got blamed for a lot of things last season at USC, but I mean, I don't think a quarterback has ever landed in a more perfect position to succeed right away than Caleb Williams in the Bears right now. To be quite honest, Keenan Allen, absolute pro. All he does is get open and catch 10 balls a game. DJ Moore is super scary, and we saw Roma Dunze was one of the best wide receivers in college last season. Thank God we did stack up. But yeah, this Bears team is going to be dangerous for a long time moving forward, especially if that defense remains at the level they were at. And I mean, getting Booker that late, I mean, I wanted him to be a Lion. So
yeah,
I think the Bears did really well here, no doubt.
Yeah, I don't have much to complain about other than the punter thing. I think that it was a good draft class for the Bears, and I think that they used the assets they got pretty wisely, and this is going to be a division that is very respectable and near the top in the NFL, which last year we were having these conversations of, is this the worst division in football? And now I think flash forward less than a year, we're going to be having conversations. Is this one of the best or the best division in football?
And Shift God says, you see what happened to Bryce Young with no O-line. The Bears' offensive line isn't as bad as the Panthers.
No. And they also grabbed that kid out of BYU or Yale.
Yeah, and their tackles are solid. Their interior offensive line was bad, but they got a guy to play there. And the Panthers had no offensive line and no wide receivers. Like the Bears at least have guys that can catch the ball and make things happen when they get the ball in their hands.
And again, he's 5'2". Like Bryce Young is 5'2".
Yeah, and Bryce Young's 5'1". Yeah, so it's. I think Caleb Williams.
That's what you get with a 4'11"
I think he's going to have a much, much better year than Bryce Young did year one.
Yeah, I'm glad. I've been asking for years and years and years, but I'm really happy we got the speed finally. And again, I get like, the 40 time, you're not going to see it there as like proven, but like you watch the tape, Terrion Arnold, he mirrors these wide receivers he sit across from. He was great in press man coverage for that reason. Matter of fact, one of the fastest and I believe the best route runner, Ladd McConkey. I put out a clip on my Twitter today of him trying to route up Terrion Arnold, but he wasn't having it. Terrion Arnold kind of shut him down on that one. And again, that's the guy who ran a 4.3 and probably the best route runner in Ladd McConkey. But yeah, I'm glad we got
Ingles says Bears still have shit coaching. Yeah, I don't think Eberflus sees next year. Like I think this is Eberflus's last year as a head coach.
Yep. Who else we got?
Then they grab Kellen Moore or somebody like that.
We can go with the Packers.
Yeah, that would be.
Oh shit!
God,
holy shit!
Right.
What?
Maybe we need to stretch this one to another break or something because this is a lot. Look at this.
This is
Jordan Morgan. That was a reach. Didn't like that.
Yep.
Edrin Cooper, great pick.
Great pick.
Javon Ballard, that's a great pick. But I also didn't really understand that because they just signed McKinney. Marshawn Lloyd, that's a good pick.
Tyron
Hooper. Don't know.
Not too familiar with him.
Not too familiar. Another linebacker.
Another safety too.
Another safety.
Evan Williams.
Jacob Monk.
Jacob Monk's a good pick.
Keaton Oladipo. Actually like him. Another
Victor
safety.
Oladipo's a solid pick. They drafted a lot of safeties.
Yeah, three safeties.
Yeah. And
Three
is that
safeties.
a D tackle, Travis?
Kalen King in the 7th round. That's a really good pick.
I don't like this draft.
I think it's semi mid.
I think it's solid. Yeah, there's none really that like
the solid
jump out at you. There's none that like the star power or the like this guy's going to be really good except for Edrin Cooper. I think he's probably got the best upside out of everybody on that draft pick.
Marshawn Lloyd, he's that fast dude, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It seems like
Victor Oladipo's a solid pick. A lot of safeties though.
It seems like to me a collection of bodies, like a collection of just players that you think can be depth pieces or hope can be depth pieces. But from my understanding of these players, I don't see many stars from it. So
such a Green Bay draft. This is how they draft every year.
How did they get all that capital though? How did they? Were they
Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams trades?
Oh yeah, true.
I think Cooper to pair with Quay Walker is pretty interesting for them to try to stop the elite run game of the Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
I think that's what they were going for right there. But besides that, I'm not a big Morgan guy, so I think that's kind of reaching for a tackle in the first. To try to replace Bakhtiari, I don't like that at all.
They fell apart after the Lions drafted Terrion Arnold.
Yeah, we stole him.
There were also better tackles on the board at the time when they...
Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Maybe we'll end up being wrong on that one. But, yeah, I thought Jordan Morgan's a reach. The Edrin Cooper, probably my favorite pick for them out of this draft class.
I mean, if you draft 100 players, like 2 of them got to be all right.
That's fair. And that's the thing is like that could work out for him. But, yeah. The other thing, too, is like with Edrin Cooper, I'm not saying he's this now, but he has the potential to be similar to your guy that you like in Chicago, Jermaine Williams.
Yeah.
Is that his name?
Edmonds.
Thank you. Because he's got that speed. He's twitched up. I just think he's more of a blitzing linebacker right now than he is a coverage guy. I obviously think he has the athletic ability to be that coverage guy, which is dangerous for us because we do like to eat in the middle of the field and that zone coverage as we saw when we faced Chicago at least 2 times last year.
Yeah, that could be also the Packers are trying to build up their defense to stop the Lions. A lot of safeties, a lot of linebackers, guys that are going to play in the middle of the field and try to take away those avenues for Jared Goff.
That's what I think that was. They're the ones building up to stop us. Not the other way around. When we get back, we got the Vikings draft. Your favorite, J.J. McCarthy. But before then, Planet Fitness again.
I just said it like that. I do like J.J. McCarthy. Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and we mean anyone, can work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, a full-body workout in 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all this for just $10 a month, no commitment. No matter where you're at, there's Planet Fitness close by, more than 50 in Metro Detroit, and thousands more throughout the world. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around. Who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody!
What's good, man? How you doing? What you got for me today? Let's have a look, man. I see the one I want right there. That's the one I'm looking for.
Welcome to the winner's circle, Blake. Hey. Figer Law. All we do is win. All we do is win.
After an accident, people need to hire a lawyer more than any other time, so make Figer Law your first call. 1-800-A-WINNER. That's 1-800-A-WINNER. Their team of trial lawyers will get you the money you deserve. Figer Law. All we do is win.
What up, though? Welcome back to World Heavyweights Live on Sports.com. I'm Eazy, joined by Spimo Rax.
What up, though?
Young Chris, Nicholas Kohloff, a.k.a. Detroit Mario.
Let's go.
Korean Jesus in the building. Yeah, I mean, I hate the Bears more than anyone. I give the Bears credit. I see this guy in the chat. He keeps pretending like we're just being fanboys about it. I don't remember his name. I saw him there. Dogs.
Brandon Dogs.
I think Morgan's going to be a stud. Green Bay has a great front office.
By all accounts, they reached out Morgan. I don't give a fuck.
They reached out
I
Morgan.
gave him credit on Adrian Cooper. Morgan's going to be reaching my book until proven otherwise. Got to be honest with you. Either way, moving on to the Vikings draft. Not much there. Now, our guy Broder kind of making waves shitting on this one, but
I don't hate it as much as Broder does.
Yeah, I really don't.
Those first 3 picks are really good. I like J.J. McCarthy as a prospect. I think he's going to be a good quarterback in the NFL. He's got all the disposable or the intangibles you need: the arm strength, the athleticism. He's good at processing defenses. Dallas Turner is arguably the best defensive player in the draft. So, shitting on that one, I don't get that at all. Kyrie Jackson, I think, is a great cornerback. To get him in the 4th round, that's a good pick. Obviously, I think Will Reichard is the best kicker in this draft. And then, I'm not even going to try to read that last name.
Juergens?
Levi Drake Rodriguez, is that what it says?
Yeah.
Don't know who that is. Michael Juergens, jacking off with Juergens. Don't know much about him either. But the first 3 picks in Will Reichard, I don't hate this draft at all. I think it's a pretty damn good draft.
I can't say JJ would be anything for sure, but he's definitely has potential to be, so I'm not knocking that one. Actually, I like this draft. I think I like this one better than the Packers. Although Packers obviously had more swings, but
I like this draft better than the Packers for sure.
Yeah, the first 3 picks. Dallas Turner, here's the thing. You can say it's a bad draft. Cool. What you can't say, they had a bad offseason.
Yeah.
Because especially for the defensive coordinator they have in Brian Flores and all the weird exotic blitzes he likes to do, all the zone coverage he has, Dallas Turner fits that, right? They also grabbed Jonathan Grenard. They also grabbed Van Ginkel.
Yeah.
Andrew Van all those guys to help him do all the funky shit that he likes to do. They grabbed pieces to help him out with that one.
Yeah, their first 3 picks, I would draft all those guys.
Kyrie Jackson, too. Another guy that's great in zone coverage.
Mm-hmm.
What they did was equip Brian Flores to do some nasty things. I'm not going to lie. Do you guys think JJ starts right away?
Yeah.
Yeah? You too?
I don't think so. Unless they want to stun his development, I think that he is a guy that if he sits behind someone, I think that he could be the next, great quarterback. But at the same time, if you throw him out there too early, I don't think he's filled out all the way. I think that he's still more of a smaller prospect. He looks like that way on the field. I just question whether he's day 1 starter ready. I think that they might go bridge. Maybe he's a week 6 type of guy. I think that's more of a realistic expectation for him. And they surge on and late at the end of the season and move towards next year with their franchise quarterback. But I think this year is not the division-winning year for the Vikings. I think that they're going to need a year as well as the Bears.
I think that I would agree with that. I think JJ needs some time to develop for sure, but I don't think the Vikings see themselves as what you said at the end. I think they're trying to win right now, and I think they need to try to win right now because Justin Jefferson still hasn't signed his contract, and that is a guy that 32 teams in the NFL will pay $35 million a year to play football for them. So you need to show Justin Jefferson what you have and why you're trying to compete for the division next year if you want him to stay with you. If you go out there and say, hey, Justin Jefferson, for the first 6 of the weeks of the season, you're going to be catching balls by Sam Darnold, that might not look so great for him. But if you say, hey, we just drafted this quarterback, we got a lot of faith in him, he's got a cannon arm, this is going to be your guy going forward, maybe that sways his opinion a little bit.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you there, too. I don't think he starts. And not knock towards him. It's just he does have a little bit of development to get there, and why rush it? You guys heard me speak about Terry Arnold before we got in this rakish straw. I don't think there's a need to rush any of your rookies at all ever. And plus, Sam Darnold, you can make the jokes all you want. He is 2-0 against the Lions, and he's
not terrible.
Yeah, he's really not
terrible.
He's really not terrible.
I like Sam Darnold too. Like, he's not awful, but he's not great. But
yeah, I'm 100% with you on that one.
I think this is going to be a classic situation where a GM and coach rush the top 10 quarterback in.
Yeah.
He shouldn't start. I think he, like Korean Jesus, our guy Justin said, he could be super successful in the next great quarterback in the future if they don't rush him. But every GM does this. Every head coach does this. They rush their top 10, top 15 quarterback in, and you see if he struggles early, then it could just completely screw up his confidence moving forward. I think that could happen with JJ, but he is in a set position to succeed with a guy like Jefferson, a guy like Hawkinson, and a guy like Addison to throw the ball to. Where else would you rather be besides maybe with the Chicago Bears if you're coming in as a rookie?
Yeah, realistically, he's in a perfect position to develop because, like we said, Sam Darnold, insulated. It's not like Sam Darnold's, David or Tim Blau or David Boyle. Like David Boyle, Tim Blau, they go hand for hand. It's definitely David Blau and Tim Boyle, but he's not one of those guys. Like, this is a guy who he was a top 5 pick in the NFL draft. He's shown signs of talent. He just showed those signs of talent for the Jets when they were awful. And he's not the worst quarterback in the NFL. Like, there's some starters that I'd say Sam Darnold would be better than, but this is a guy that could go out there with the weapons that he has around him and win a couple games for you while JJ's still developing behind him, and then you put JJ. That's the best case scenario. That's what they should do. But I agree with Nick. They're not going to. They're definitely going to force the hand on JJ McCarthy, and I think it could not be so great for him.
I agree, and I think that your point was the key point that I wanted to get to too. Is Justin Jefferson, T.J. Hawkinson? These are guys that they made big commitments to for multiple years, and that window being able to afford them and make it all work and make a Super Bowl appearance happen or a playoff appearance happen is a very small window. So I think they are going to unfortunately rush him, and I think it's not the right decision to make, but I do think that's what they're going to ultimately end up doing, because I think that while it's a great situation for that quarterback, if the regime is patient, I think that the other factors will force them to feel like they're on the clock, so to speak.
Shift God says, I hope J.J. McCarthy has a Nathan Peterman type of run. Damn. You remember that? That dude. Talk about interception factory, bro.
I do have to disagree with all of you. I don't think that the Vikings are going to look at that way. I think that they saw their early season success last year with the 3 different quarterbacks and how they were able to keep themselves afloat till that time where all the film was out on these quarterbacks and teams were able to adjust to them and completely shut them down. I think that there is a very good route for JJ to at least sit maybe 4 games.
I'm on the same page. No, you disagree with me. I'm on the same page with you. I think he sits. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Sam
no.
Darnold starts this season.
I just think that there's way too much that can happen in your first start in the NFL, and you getting thrown into it week 1. Does anyone know who they play week 1?
Schedule's come out sometime soon.
Oh, okay. Because I swear I heard people talking about the Lions-Bears being the first game of the season, and I didn't know if that was real or not.
No, it's not yet. They haven't released it yet.
Nick's got the season tickets. He'll probably know Well, no, because I do the official review.
Yeah, they do some review. I'm sure we'll break it all down and, do a little record prediction.
Oh, yeah, those are the easiest
You have to.
Yeah, there's just as much as, like, I wouldn't even call it a pro-style offense. I mean, it was, but it wasn't in Michigan because they ran the ball so goddamn much.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think that kid, the guy coming from there, is starting and expected to throw as often. He's going to be throwing in that Kevin O'Connell system, especially with those weapons. Again, someone made a great point. Hawk's not going to be back right away because of torn ACL. But with Jordan Addison, with freaking do they still have Irv Smith? No, he's with the Bengals now. Regardless, Jordan Addison with Justin Jefferson, that's an offense where you're not going to be running the ball 20 to 30 times a game. You're going to be passing the fuck out of it. JJ is not going to start right away. It's just malfeasance, if you will.
Yeah, JJ needs to also improve on his deep out routes. That's one thing where he struggled at Michigan when he was asked to do that. So I think, obviously time just to develop would be good for him.
And Bama in the playoff game really played him to his weaknesses, and you saw them with their elite cornerbacks. Nothing was really opening up until he made that trick play happen. No, there was nothing going on in the passing game. Michigan's offense was completely stalemated in the beginning of that Alabama game until they started to mix up their schemes and run some new stuff. But in the beginning of the game, when Alabama was able to take away all of JJ's strengths, I think that it really, really affected him and made him almost ineffective to a way where that's why you saw Michigan fall down early in that game.
Yeah.
Had to start to use his legs a little bit. That's for sure.
They're not, even though they got Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones isn't the guy you're going to hand the ball off to 40 times a game because he's made of glass. So we'll see. But I think they're going to force their hand, like Nick says, what irresponsible franchises do. And I think they want to hold on to JJ as much as possible. And I don't know if JJ is too keen on playing with Sam Darnold for his quarterback or for his franchise year, for the year where he's going to make the most money out of any receiver. Like, he wants to shine out there.
I think he's going to shine no matter who it is. You saw him getting work in with freaking Nick Mullins at quarterback.
That's fair.
True that.
Tell us about the morning show, Nick.
Yeah, shout out all the Vikings fans on Twitter. Just kidding. You guys are the absolute worst. Wake up, Woodward. Woodward Sports has a new morning show. Start your day with Wake Up Woodward, Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. live on Woodward Sports. Join Kool-Aid, Flannel Sam, Broder, JB, and KG every morning as they cover all the Detroit sports. Sports talk, banter, and live fan interaction. All on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Guardian Alarm offers you customized solutions from real experts. Their professional technicians take time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. They also have 24/7 professional monitoring. You can call them anytime, day or night. No, a Guardian Alarm team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. And of course, they have technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology. It's been proven to work. People have been proven to care. So call them at 1-800.
Stay out.
That's 1-800.
Stay out.
And let them know Woodward Sports sent you.
What up, though? Welcome back to World Heavyweights Live on WoodwardSports.com. My boy Eazy, joined my guy Spimo Rax, young Chris, Nicholas Kohloff.
Let's go.
AKA Detroit Mario. We got Korean Jesus in the building. This is a mailbag segment, as well as what are some of the hot takes you had during draft season that didn't come to fruition?
Cooper Bebe to the Lions.
Yeah, that's kind of extreme, though. You just want it. You're trying to will it.
Yeah.
I can't beat you up for that one.
And he went to Cowboys. Cowboys always draft well. They got Nealon and Cooper Bebe. It sucks because I love both of those guys.
I'll take an L on Austin Booker. I thought he was going to be like a third round.
TJ Tampa went real low, too.
Yeah, but I kind of fell off him kind of early.
Yeah. My Nate Wiggins love was definitely vindicated in the draft.
Nate Wiggins love.
Yeah, he went to Baltimore, and Baltimore only drafts elite secondary players.
Nick is ready to confess.
Yeah, I was wrong on Brock the Glock Bowers being a top 10 pick. So I don't know if we.
Where did he end up going? I can't remember.
Oakland.
Oh yeah.
So to pair with Michael Mayer. So they're bringing out the 2 tight end set the Patriots.
I said this on the show. Which one of those guys do you think is going to be a murderer? Because the last time we saw 2 elite tight ends play together, one of them's a murderer. So
Bowers.
Definitely the Myers guy. I mean, come on. It's in the name.
That's fair. I didn't even think about that. That's a good point, Chris.
That's fair. First name Michael, right?
Speaking of
Michael Mayer.
Speaking of
Oh, yeah,
receiving.
it's not Myers.
Okay, yeah. Then take that bar
Kobe
back.
Myers.
Wasn't a bar. But where I got wrong was I was definitely convinced by the end of the draft that they were getting a receiver, and they were getting one pretty early in the draft.
Fair.
So
that's fair.
There's
another one I can't remember. What did I say? Oh, I thought you were saying something.
I was me. I was first day on the job, and I was pushing the trade up for Dallas Turner. I was honestly so sure that we were going to do it. I obviously had no inside scoop on what Brand Holmes was thinking because he didn't go edge at all. But with Dallas Turner on the board at like that late, like I was begging Brad Holmes to move up, and then
I'm begging you. Draft Dallas Turner for me, Brad.
I knew that wasn't a one. One, he's just going way too early, and then 2, like more like a stand-up rusher. We do like our guys are down usually. Let's come out of the Sam. One we got right.
Did Houston?
We called the trade up.
Yes.
Kind of iffy because I didn't know.
If he got the stiffy,
Remind you, we don't know what Brad's going to do, but I think in the situation Detroit Lions are in, it made a lot more sense for them to trade up than it was to trade back. We weren't building towards anything. We're trying to submit our Super Bowl run, and they did that. I feel like there's another one I remembered I was wrong on earlier, but I didn't bring my journal.
I don't think any of us were right thinking Brad was going to double down corner. I mean, we were all thinking interior O-line.
Chris did say he was going to double up.
Chris, I did really think that, and then the very last minute, because I was the last guy around. After hearing everybody, I was like, nah, they're not gonna do it. But I want it.
Trust your gut, or Elon will never sign you in the elevator conversation.
Oh, you know what? Keon Coleman.
Yeah.
We'll get second round.
Top of second. Top of second.
So I guess not really, but
first pick of the second round went before A.J. Mitchell and Roman Wilson.
Did you see that crazy picture of Elon Spencer? Did you see that crazy picture of Elon this weekend?
Yeah, he's been on some wild shit.
Yeah.
One and this is like a personal one, and I don't know if you guys are in the chat right now, but I've been battling Michigan fans saying that Corum's with. I know he was all-time great at Michigan. I'm not denying that, but we've always kind of said he's a third-round running back. Ended up being a third-round running back.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody really could.
Oh no. They were
what?
Michigan fans had him. Yeah, Michigan guys had him.
I mean, Michigan guys like
what?
Stupid.
Who
Michigan
had him up there?
I don't even think like realistic Michigan fans.
I remember specifically battling them in the chat and on Twitter.
No way.
Yeah, that's crazy.
In today's NFL,
Corum was a third rounder for me the whole way. It just seemed like that was just the perfect place to pick him.
He went to a great spot, by the way, too. The Rams were the offensive-minded coach. He's going to put him in positions where he's going to succeed. Perfect place for him to be.
Could take, spell Kyron Williams. Kyron Williams is already there, so he doesn't have to be that dude.
Yeah. No. Oh, when we got right, we first called out Knicks at 12, and people started telling us we were crazy, so we had to back off a little bit.
Yeah.
Like cowards. We should have stuck to our guns.
Yeah.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. On the network, friend of the show, Ryan Ermanni. What was his JJ take? It was top 5, right?
It was number 1 overall.
He said he's going to be number 1 over. He said he's going to be his first quarterback off the board.
Oh, first quarterback.
And
then he switched it up.
Then he said he was going to be
top 5, right?
But his original take was he's going to be the first quarterback off the board.
Yeah.
But the thing he said he'd quit for was if the Lions traded out of the first round. So.
Oh. Okay.
And El Gato, where are you at? I haven't seen him in the chat today.
Oh,
the cat. He was trying to bet. I should have took the bet because I knew it was going to fucking happen. He was trying to bet me for weeks that the Lions would trade back.
There's just no one with Brad. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
I would never gamble on a Brad Holmes.
It was even
decision.
$10, but even that I was like,
Yeah.
Oh, $10 I probably did.
Gambling on what Brad Holmes is going to do is just like lighting your money on fire. like now you can gamble on his picks being right.
Yeah, because if I would have made that bet, he would have traded back.
Yeah.
That's how the world works.
Yeah.
Out to get you.
There's one I'm pretty sure I got wrong. I just can't remember. I wrote it down today.
think everyone was wrong on Penix. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Top 10.
yeah.
We haven't really got to that once. Holy
Yeah.
what the hell is going on in Atlanta, fellas?
That guy has either some really racist emails from Arthur Rooney.
Oh.
Or not Arthur Rooney. What's his name? Arthur Blank.
Arthur Blank.
Or Arthur Blank made that pick. It was one or the other. That was insane.
He's a top 10 pick.
I agree.
Elgato said right here, punk. Shout out Elgato. But yeah, Penix is top 10 talent for sure. It's just I wouldn't have done it because of the injury history and the age, and you already got a quarterback that you just paid $100 million guaranteed to.
Yeah, I was thinking they were going to go like developmental quarterback if you go that route, not the 23-year-old guy who's played 5 years of college football.
Yeah.
Like that's what just didn't make sense in my eyes.
But that'll do it for us today. Appreciate all of you watching. Make sure you smash that like button and share the stream. For Eazy, for Nick, for Justin, a.k.a. Korean Jesus, for Chris, I am Spencer. We are the Woodward Heavyweights. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.